we're going to do a podcast, and I don't know how it's going to go. So, you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Matthew from Second Chance Auto Restoration.
I'm John from Just Some Guy Tuning and Consulting.
These are two guys I've worked with a long time, and we're just going to talk about some stuff today. So, why don't we had a great conversation prior, and it's kind of mentally screwed me up. Tell me about that valve spring that you were just telling me about. I want to go into some technical stuff kind of right away.
All right. So,
and we can roll into this.
When you put valve springs in the motor, they're made for a certain amount of lift. So if your rocker arm ratio and your camshaft is designed so it has 620 thousandths of lift, you should probably make sure your coil spring doesn't bind at 550 thousandths.
You know what? Hold on. I'm going to chop this. They need to tell people more about themselves.
Okay.
John's going right in tech. Nobody knows who the fuck he is or what he's talking about.
Just some guy.
This whole section is just going to be left in the video. And then you're just going to roll right back into all the bullshit that ended up happening.
Probably, yeah, because it goes slow.
Start over.
I just need some bullshit intro to put in there.
This is the bullshit.
Ah, God.
You know why? Because nobody...
Here, you want a good intro?
Yeah, go ahead. Do your thing. Tell about your military background.
Yeah. Tell them about yourself, John.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to tell them about yourself.
Yeah, talk about it.
Here's John. I've known John for quite a while, and he's a great guy. We're about to hear what he has to say about his life and his journey to get to where he's got.
Journey.
I like that.
That's nice.
What do I really do?
What is your day-to-day life?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm technically a machinist by trade, and I work with electronics. Used to work with aircraft and drones and fiber optic and radar systems and all kinds of cool shit like that.
But now you build cars.
Now I build cars for people and tune them. And
For me, when I don't know what I'm doing.
yeah, I do consulting with Ryan whenever.
I cry to John when I'm stuck.
Yeah. So that's.
And you're just some guy in your garage, right?
Yeah.
You don't have a official thing going on, or do you?
I mean, I have the LLC set up and everything, so it's just some guy tuning and consulting LLC.
If people end up liking you after we talk, is there anywhere they can find you?
On Facebook under John Zajac, or give me a call at 570-317-5355.
I know John. He's one of the best tuners in the world. He helps me out so much.
Big Holly guy.
Yeah, big Holly guy. Done no stock computer, right? A little.
I do airflow based GM stuff. So like your average 4th generation Camaro, like Catfish stuff, and 5th generation Camaro, and like those year in between trucks. Other than that, no more factory stuff.
No more factory stuff. I think we could all take away from that one.
So let's talk about John Honey's car. You've had he's had a ton of time in that. I mean, you've done everything from the back to the front of that car. I mean, that's like one of the fast cars around this area. And I mean, it's always been for years. And I mean, what's it been? How many years have you had your hands on that? Start with the first setup you had in that and go through and just say a couple of things about that, because I can't even keep up with all the stuff you've done. And I've always had interest in that car. And you've done a lot of stuff. You've made that thing always be competitive all the time.
Yeah. I mean, I probably have thousands of hours in that car. I mean, it's lots of testing on different setups and everything. It started off as just a simple 23 degree small block, like a 434 with a bigger set of heads than what it should have had on it, and Rappy twin turbos and blow through on the 85.
Made it work though.
Yeah, we made it work. So we came out with the car. We designed it for Andy's like whatever Frantic 15 class or whatever, and we came out with it and just stomped everyone immediately. So it was probably like 2 years that we were just stomping everyone's ass with it, and then finally, Andy built the Nova. Mark's stepped it up with his stuff and everything. And then we've just been chasing each other's tails since then. So, but
Yeah, because everybody's fast.
that car at the point now, it's still a 23 degree small block. The cylinder head that's on it will come. You can unbolt it and bolt it onto a stock 305, and it'll run. Like, it's not anything crazy. It's a 400-inch motor. It's just a lot of boost in it and methanol, and it makes freaking power. It tops a dyno out at 2,000 wheel at like 28 pounds. So it's
and it's not even. That's not even close.
Run it up to 45, almost 50 at the track. So it's obviously makes a lot more than that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
it's a pretty cool car.
So the turbo setup on that now. What? I know you redid it at the end of what was that? Not last year, the year before.
Yeah.
What did you do? You did the whole hot side over again. Did you go from like 2.5 to 3, or what did you do that? And you went to bigger turbos. I know that.
No, turbos are actually
still same size.
Yeah. Originally, when we went to the methanol setup, we put a set of Pro Mod 88s. They're like some Garrett 88. I forget what the hell exactly they were, but they were a big set of T6s, and that little motor just couldn't spool them. Like, it would take like 15 seconds on the brake to get it to spool. Then we went to a 83. It has an 83 millimeter VS with T4 housing on the exhaust, and those turbos have been on the car for probably 4 years now. But we're having issues with the car with it hooking down track. It would get out past the 330 and it would start spinning tires pretty bad. So it would unload the back tires. So we ended up taking the turbos and moving them from up by the fuel cell on the nose. I moved them all the way back, like right next to the cylinder head. So we got about like 2% weight moved from front tire to rear tire. Now it works good. Had a little bit of an issue with fuel distribution on the blow-through setup, but that's happens with blow-through carburetors. So,
I mean, I feel like most any car, there's learning curves. Like, you don't just go into it and like they work 100%. I mean, geez, how many times I've had to call you about certain stuff and just talk through what we had, and I mean, we figured it out. Like, just like you know.
Same with you guys. He's a constant advice for my tuning, and you are a constant advice for pretty much everything else. And I think automotive, Evan explained it one time. We were working on a piece of shit. We're all just learning together, and I think that was the best damn thing. I can't tell you how much money I've spent learning blowing shit up. Probably have a house by now. Yeah, I don't. So
I feel you. it's not fun.
No, I'm thinking about it right now. I'm getting sick. How much shit has gone through this learning experience where I'm at today, and you guys, you with your Camaro and everything, and the Pro Mod stuff, pretty much I see regularly do. The videos you show me, that's serious. It can't go smoothly every time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it never does.
We're playing engineer.
Sometimes. Yeah.
Very, very few and far in between. Like, especially when it's not a car you build. Like, when you have a car that comes in and you got to finish it up, and it's always like they always say, or most of the time they say, well, I think I have everything for the car. And then you get into it and you realize they got 2/3 of it, and half the stuff that they have is not right. Then you got to backtrack to figure out what these people did before you, because half the time it's not right. And you got to double check, because every time you don't double check, it bites you in the ass. Then you find out the hard way, usually, and then it costs you out of your own pocket. So then you be more careful, and you really like rely on yourself to make sure the stuff that the people before you did right. Because if they didn't, you need to take care of it immediately. And sometimes you can go back and forth, front to back on a car and think you got it all and be days in to find out, nope, they even did more hackery up underneath anywhere, you know.
That's that
it just
GT
never
actually
ends.
got your hand.
Well, I
Good.
have numbers, but it's not that
I mean,
bad.
you guys love their AutoZone butt connectors and
It's a rock auto, man.
Hey, you know, sometimes you do, you know.
I'm an
you're fine
Amazon
with it.
guy. Just I don't have expensive cars. My daily is $2,000. That's I beat the shit out of it.
I get it, yeah. And it doesn't even break, right?
No, it's
How much-
6 years.
I know.
That clutch should be gone. It's not.
See, sometimes you just get lucky.
But that leads into a really good point, though. If you own a shop and you don't know what you're doing, don't experiment on customers' cars.
Yeah.
Don't do that,
Yep.
because then Matt has to take stuff like that. I get it. He gets transmissions, and we have to clean up all the mess there.
Transmission
It's,
horrible.
it's the smaller guys like us that are cleaning up. Majority of the time, the guys that are paying minimum wage workers to put stuff together the wrong way.
That, and a lot of people don't think about this either. And I know I don't care if I say it or not. Like I don't got some Jags money, dude. I can't just eat every single little. I had a guy call me the other day that wanted me to warranty. He stripped out a pan bolt and wanted me to warranty it, which I mean I would have done, but it's stupid. He would have to pay shipping and all this stuff, and it's like,
yeah, that's
just hey man, buy a thread insert. It's not too bad. Sorry, 8 foot-pounds, but I can't. There's worse shit, especially in the transmission world, because I know very little. There's very few good builders left in the country, and they'll start putting valves in or drilling holes or cutting some shit going on that sometimes we can't even find. I know Evans had a tranny on and off the dyno a couple times this year, 18 times, because we were trying to fix somebody else's work, and we ended up throwing it in the dumpster, basically. But all that lost time, that's
Oh yeah.
Yes, I can tell you when I first started years ago, and I was learning body work, I did what I could and I did what I knew, and I slowly took my time on my own stuff. And I wasn't really a good painter, but I did go to college for it, and I did do a lot of painting there. My dad didn't let me paint customers' cars when I was younger, so the way it worked out was our labs on Fridays were in the morning, and Thirsty Thursday would keep everybody out of lab. So I'd take anybody's shit in the paint booth and fuck it all up because I didn't care. And Beerly, I grew up with going to car shows and racetrack and whatnot. A lot of my professors I did, almost all of them except for one. But, so I knew him very well, and he knew what I was trying to accomplish and where I was trying to go with my life. And he knew, I wanted to own my own shop at some time, or if, at least paint for my father. And he would take a lot of time with me to do it. Once I started getting better, I started doing my own stuff, and I moved on to customer stuff that, I felt familiar with. Same with the LS stuff. When I first came in, I didn't really know much. John's been around for the whole time since I started doing it with nitrous stuff, and I blew up motors doing that shit. It was on my own shit. Then I went to turbo stuff, and I was blowing up fucking motors left and right with that. And I was breaking trans left and right. But a lot of stuff was self-inflicted. And just like with my tuner, Jack's great. He's a great guy. And he would always tell me when I was leaning on something and better back it off or take some timing out or whatnot. And I would always be like, well, let's see if he's right. And man, I can remember in a group chat one day, we were talking, messing around. And I was just getting my Firebird, my stick car back together because I bent a rod for the third time because I was really leaning on it and I didn't have enough pump. So I was like, oh, we're going back together. And I can remember him sending a meme with this girl walking through the rings like round 3. Like, are you? And he's like, are you ever going to listen or what? And then I was like, I really do. Like he knows what he's doing. And, I'm sick of, I had my K member cut apart so I could get the oil pan off of it faster. So I didn't have to pull the motor every time I bent a rod. I just shove it in right back up in. But, that stuff got old, even though it was faster than pulling motor, I still didn't want to have to get into that kind of stuff. So I started being more patient. And that was like one thing growing up is learning patience. And that is like key to not screwing shit up, because it could, sometimes you just got to walk away, you know. But I started messing around with LS stuff. I'll play, like, I'm not a tuner like John, Jack, any of them guys. I'll do NA stuff here and there, mess around, or like turbo LS stuff that is my like 6-liter S480, like, you know, stuff that I've done plenty of, like, I know the back of my hand, but I don't, I don't reach out and try to touch stuff I'm not from, like, I'll play with a supercharged car, you know, it just mild stuff. I just don't feel comfortable touching somebody else's stuff if I'm not familiar with it, and I just don't.
No, and that's a fair point. You said something like don't experiment on customers' cars, but automotive and learning this shit is a growing pain. So yeah, by all means, inflict some harm upon yourself.
Yeah, you know, and I like watching. And another thing about observation, you know, for me is watching other people's mistakes, because some of them are not always self-inflicted either. And stuff that we don't know, we learn along the process. Like, let's talk about Joe's car when it pushed a freeze plug out the head. I didn't ever know they made plugs for the heads to keep them from doing that. Bet your ass I went out to next weekend and ordered some and got them coming, just because I seen a hat and I said, oh, you know, that's what happens when you're living on the edge of stock stuff. You know what I mean? Like, you know, that's
passes limits.
PRC, you know, these monster head, they don't have freeze plugs in them. You don't have to worry about that stuff. I never even thought about it, but I was like, my older door heads, they have freeze plugs in them. I got caps on them in my Bird, but like, until it happens to somebody, you don't know, you know, and at least like until you see it sometimes or hear about it. And that was one thing that was really costly with Joe, but hopefully it saved a lot of other people, you know, down the road. That's like, you know, just even people trying to be, I get a little crazy in the gas sometimes out there, and my car will get a little wild. And like, I try to ride on the edge, and like, you know, and I do get out of it. Like the time I went in the grass and stuff, like I went in the center. I should have got out of it sooner. And as soon as it let loose, I thank God I didn't hit the brakes or do anything. I just let the car do its thing. But like, and I'm not saying that was me. Maybe that's just, you know, lucky. I got lucky that time. But you know, people get out there and it's all of it or nothing. And you know, you're gonna pile somebody else's stuff up too while you're at it. You know, you got to remember about that as well.
Are you talking about the record pass at Beaver?
No, it was in one after that.
Oh.
I was good on the first one. It was sketchy. It was all over the place. And I went out and I tried to turn it up some more down track, and that's when it started
getting squirrely.
Yeah. It just, but
yeah, I freaked out when you sent that. I freaked out. I was like, wow, that's bad.
Wrong. I posted it as my record pass like a dummy.
Yeah, you did. You were just here.
Video.
Here, everybody. I wrecked.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Watching your car, that thing has like dirt road tune up.
I like
on it.
I know.
Just
Lifts.
yeah.
And here's something I'll tell you I learned about that too, because you know the car didn't do it last year, wasn't separated like that. When I first got the shocks from Yancey and he built them for me, he said, you know, if you want to go back to the factory setting that I have them set at on your chart, you go all the way loose or all the way tight and then crank them back loose to get the number that you desire. And then, you know, the faster you go, crank them back down. In my head, and I'm dyslexic, so I do this a lot, and I don't want to blame it on that, but this is like probably one of those cases. I went under there, instead of tightening it back in, I kept turning it off. So instead of the car going out there and getting tighter, it was looser, and I was adding power at it at the same time, which was making it look like a four-wheel drive. And I didn't know at that time it was not effective, but yeah, you know, whatever.
I think it's like SpaceX.
Yeah, this is the first pair of shocks that I've had built, and this is like, you've been that road. You know that stuff. I didn't. I was still learning, but again, I learned with my own car, thank God.
Yeah.
And sending a customer out there and then four-wheel and nobody know. But you know, it took me a couple of times down there and realizing, holy shit, you know. But now the car's good. And we'll see, but you know,
that's the last thing you're thinking about in the cockpit. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
you're not.
I was all over the place, wondering what the fuck was going on and why, you know. But
Yeah, if anyone's wondering, when it comes to a radial tire car, like Matt was experiencing there, whenever you're applying power, that rear end needs to keep separating from the car. As soon as you top that shock out, you cannot effectively apply any more power or it will start spinning.
Yeah.
Your shock is topped out, it's done separating. You can't drive the tire effectively anymore. Like,
and I'm proof.
the technical part of it.
Yeah.
You can see it on Facebook
Yeah. Yeah.
whenever you want.
I mean, you've been down the road with, doing a lot of suspension stuff. Like you've been on a ton of, you've been from everything from, 6 gens to 2 chassis cars to F bodies to putting, I remember when I was over at the shop and you guys had that 72 Camaro. It was on the lift, LS swapped, but it had all ride tech stuff underneath it. I think you had frame rail connectors, electric cut up. That was a really nice car, and it was well set up for suspension and stuff. But like, you don't just put that stuff on and it works. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? You got to go out and mess with it and all that kind of stuff, which is nice and you're familiar with it and whatnot. And once you start playing with stuff and you kind of understand it and, you get a grasp of it, it becomes a lot easier. But at first, everything seems like it's just rocket science. Yeah. It's wild. Yeah.
A mess.
That's we always rely on guys like Ron G, Yancey, talk to, whatever is a leaf spring car before we figured out how to apply a leaf spring properly. We'd be calling Ron Rhodes asking him questions.
Yeah.
We've been good friends with him for a while and stuff. So
yeah, like you're saying, you still do. I still do. You still do it. Like we all still do it. It's like when I thought, when I was doing them big wheelies when your buddy was actually power wheeling, and I was like, oh, I'm power wheeling, and like to come to find out, no, my car really wasn't. It was walking the ring gear, but my suspension wasn't right. That's why it was wheeling, and then
that one wasn't the suspension. That one was a failed attempt at setting up a ride height control for wheelie.
Oh, okay.
So at that point,
I've done that as well.
Nitrous cars, NA cars, you pull a little bit of timing, like it'll kill them. It'll kill a wheelie pretty quick. Turbo cars, you pull a little bit of timing, it just moon boost, and then it goes up anyway.
Yep.
That's exactly how we drug the parachute mount on that car. So it didn't fare out too well.
It took it all.
Oh yeah.
I was sitting right in the burnout box watching the whole thing go down. Like I was literally the next one down, and that thing was a fucking rocket ship out the hole. I said, "Holy shit!"
That was a 3,600-pound car.
Yep.
Just
yeah. She went sailing. My buddies were like, "Yo, you got to back that up." I'm like, "Yeah, right." Like, come on.
That thing's gonna drive you.
Yeah. Yeah, and then
aren't good, but
no,
they destroy stuff.
Yeah, it's not a good way to be fast.
I'm glad I got pictures of it, and like again when I went to turbo and stuff, and like after that wheelie of mine too, I went and put a wheelie sensor on it. But when I went turbo, I remember being on the lift and the car didn't want to run right because it was off the ground. Yeah. So I just turned it off. I disabled it, and I never remembered to enabled again, and I went to the track the next time and the damn thing hit the bumper because it didn't pull no timing. And then when I finally enabled it, because I wasn't familiar with it, it wanted to do woo 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 and like do 3-4 wheelies at first until I had it smoothed out enough it would come out gradually, wheelie nice a little bit and then come down. But it took a couple passes to get it figured out. That's the thing in itself.
When you set those up, they're a safety net. Like you can't rely on that thing to make it down the track because eventually it's a sensor. It's not going to work, right?
Right.
So it's like an electronic wheelie bar for like an oh shit moment. Like the air gets really good. You have a hot tune up in the thing and it makes boost a lot faster than it did earlier in the day. Like that's what it's for.
Yeah. Well, the next year I went to Yancey Shocks and I've never had to use it since. I actually found out it was bad. But I put another one on. I actually got a what is it, like a G-Force one or whatever they are, the Atlas. I got an Atlas box.
Yeah.
So in it now. But yeah, it don't even come on anymore. I'm thankfully not have to use one. So
You crack me up, man.
yeah, I know.
I've seen you race, and it's amazing.
I get out there hillbilly style. I know, fucking, you know.
Down and dirty. I'm gonna wear a t-shirt next time with your face on it, dude.
I just want to talk about one thing about the.
All right.
All right. So
This. Yeah. Face.
So let's talk about this whole fucking post that started the 4L60 thing for me.
Oh God.
About how and like I don't have nothing against them, and like that's great. What, you can't put this on there?
Hey, do you want to know?
Okay, I'll do. Okay, you want me to start over? Oh, that's great. That's wildness. Oh my god.
It's passion in it.
Okay. So anyways, you know, somebody wanted to be a little, you know, ignorant about how, you know, they were poking their chest about their record and whatnot. And like, it was an honest, you know, question of who had the record and what it was and to see where it was at. Like,
Sure.
you know,
It's 12-year-old. You know, it's 12
Right.
record. It's extinct, you know.
yeah. And there was a lot of rumors out there floating around about other people's cars. I mean, one in Florida, down in Texas. You know, there were some guys that were talking about their car was faster, but there was no slips or anything. And like, they went at it a little bit hard on it. So I just thought, like, you know, and I knew what kind of transmissions you guys have and all that kind of shit. But the way it was brought about, I had a 400 in the car at the time.
You did. And it's faster with a 400, if I'm not wrong.
To the eighth, it has been, but that ain't. I mean, we seen how my car was the last time I was on prep. It was all over the place.
We have a lot of room to grow. Yeah.
Oh, that car will go in the fours the way it is now. It went 5.0s, literally 5.0s with a 5.3 and a VS94 on it. I mean, it's a 383 with a 88 Pro mod on it now. Like I was on like almost 46 pounds to go 5.0s. I've went 520s now with it on 20 pounds, on 18 pounds it went that, you know, and went a 119 on the back tire on 3 pounds. Now, mind you, the first gear's a lot different, but
Yeah.
we haven't even
No.
fucking like what?
And I actually will share with you later. I have, if your guy doesn't know how to, or wants to kind of get a background on it, I have a guy who's doing a second gear start right now, and it's really launched him. So I want to get that done on yours.
Yeah, well, I definitely want to do that too, for sure.
But
I tried to put it in second gear the other day, and it won't even go up on it to do it.
what do you got going on there? And
Second gear launches are like perfect.
they are.
When you're making freaking power.
Oh, it comes in nice.
So especially
Camera.
to set like a preface on my side of things, you know, Matt is putting more power than you probably ever should through a 4L60. And
I should. These trans are the black editions do.
yeah, it's
We can put more through that.
it's king shit, and I have no doubt. Please crank it up.
And that's and just go. I just want to go back to that post and stuff because I knew you had a transmission that could do that. You just didn't get the opportunity like some other transmission shops around that had customers' cars that were capable of it.
Correct.
And I wanted to help you out.
I was
show
trying
you
to build a car, and it's not done. And you were like, "Yeah, I got something that's fast. Let's go."
Yeah, let's do it. Let's just show that record really ain't nothing nowadays. Like, and even like with my car, like there's other guys out there say they're trying to go 7s too now. Like that's great. And like with the black edition, it's easy. Like there's a lot of cars out there should be going 7s on them. Like I just want to be the first one, but I want to also show like these things can do that. They can go in 4s and you know, we're not even reaching
Hold on.
potential yet.
Matt, first off, you're muting the mic because you keep touching the top of it.
Why do you
All
got
right.
to on the side?
Second, you keep talking about a record and you haven't told anybody what the record was. So I had to come from behind the screen to come.
Okay.
About
All right.
it. All right. So what's the record?
Yeah.
The 4L
You broke.
Because you've had this vendetta against this post you saw.
Yeah, because I don't like people trashing talking my
You
buddies.
decided to completely disassemble your car
Yeah,
and
I did.
build it from scratch all over again for an aluminum 4L60 that everybody hates.
You know, just to prove a point.
And then what?
That's how stubborn I am.
Did you go? How fast did you go?
It's been faster actually. Not the next pass, the next pass after that.
John on that.
It went faster, but I'm gonna save that one. But 832 at 168 is what it went on that pass, I think, or 66.
And was that
168?
Wait.
Okay, the car's been 168.
Is that with the rear end topping out? Did you have rear end issues or anything?
Yeah, that's what I was having. I was having issues with it. The car didn't want to go straight. I got a wishbone underneath it now. Yeah, it was topping it out. I could not slow it down enough. I got, so again, I cut a lot of weight out of the car. I cut out like 700 pounds out of the car. I was still on the springs, which were kind of close to, I should have probably went, later from the get-go, but they were good for what I was doing because I can continuously been cutting weight out of this car. But yeah, I need to get well, I got them now, so we're good. But I've had it out since then, and it doesn't top the shocks out, and not at all. But I just haven't been on a good enough prep surface since.
Roughly how many passes did you put on the car, do you think, from the time you put the setup together to breaking the record?
So I had like 20 hits on the street before I took it to Beaver, just to kind of get stuff dialed in and just get some data on it and shift it back between me and Jack. Then I went to the track and I probably had 5 passes on it, and then in the 8th, and then I started making, and then it went like 890s, 870s, 870s, 860s, and that was me getting out of it at like 1,000. Or just spinning out of the hole, and like, because I still have
fighting an issue you didn't know you had.
I haven't from that the record pass was
that's not that many passes.
Well, yeah, and
I was
at all
spinning like in and out the back door, like it was still doing weird shit down track, and even the second pass after the record pass at whatever, it was still doing it. It was spinning the whole track. I was adding more power to it, and it was just spinning more up top. It just couldn't.
yeah.
Yeah, that's insane. And just making that many hits.
Well, yeah, we were there. You were hot lapping.
We're not even scratching.
Oh yeah, I was hot lapping that day because I was trying to put a solid pass together because it would 60 well, and then when you get out there and spin, or I'd turn it down and it would kind of squiggle out, and then it would still get down there. So like, that whole day, because they didn't. In all fairness, there wasn't a lot of cars there. There's no reason to put a ton of prep on the track. Like there was a bunch of just street tires on it. It was
surface day too.
yeah,
it was good.
yeah. What was it? 87 degrees or something. So
We were sweating.
yeah. But it was still doing its thing, and and then we went to no prep stuff and went to the street stuff right after that because it was kind of just over for me.
And on top of that, we were still doing a 1-2 shift, whereas now I want to skip that and
and it'll calm it down for sure because I went in my 400, I had a 410 in it. And, I was going 1.2s and 1.20s, 1.19s or something. But as soon as I went to the second gear leave, my first hit was a 117. And I was like, holy shit. You know what I mean? Like, and it has much faster now than 60 since that, but it was very consistent right there,
If we do, like right now, you're starting off at a 306 and you are starting out at 284 because you have the reduction, but that's still like,
oh yeah, it's way up there.
So like if you did a second gear, you're really starting at a 155.
Yeah, and then I'll be able to pound some boost to it and stuff and make it
ratio pretty much. Like you're gonna take off like a rocket ship.
Yeah, oh yeah, it'll work.
And it's a lot healthier for the trans. You got your band already clamped, ready to go. You're not gonna slap it real quick, you know what I mean, on that 1, 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that crazy passes all day.
But I want to say one thing, and this is if you don't want problems, don't make problems. I'm building a whole nother car right now to solve another problem because that's how I am. I don't give a shit. He don't know, but as soon as it happens, I'll let the world know. And that's just the way it is because I'm not going to talk shit until I accomplish what I accomplish. And if I don't, I'm going to find a way until I do. But I'm building a whole nother car, actually 2 cars right now, and for a whole nother person after that. So we're going to have some fun this year. I can't wait. Yeah, I really
He's
can't.
the king, dude.
I'm not the king, but I want to go play with the big dogs.
Yeah, you
I
good.
don't know nobody, but I want to go play with the big dogs.
What do you mean?
Yeah, World Cup. That's hopefully we can make it to World Cup this year in a car. And also, if you really do think you are going to break my 4L60 record, I have a tube chassis car. I will fucking drop a motor and trans in that car and go run some 650s just to shut everybody up, and then I'll ruin it for everybody. So just stop. Just stop. All right.
He will. He's not lying.
I really will. I will take that and put it in a 2,000-pound car and go fuck shit up. And I will do it on the street. I will do it at the track. I don't give a fuck.
He doesn't.
But that's just, for fun.
This isn't just keyboard warrior shit. This is just for fun. This is his hobby.
That's what I do. I don't even care about betting big money. I'm not about betting. I just want to go out there and fuck people up on principle. Just because it's funner that way. Everybody wants to put money into the deal to be scary.
Yeah, exactly.
Not everybody got $1 million. I don't want to go out there and botch and break something and then give a person $2,000 because I just want to go out there and have fun and I break whatever you got me. I'll see you again. But everybody want to have some fucking huge ego and shit. And I just want to be the ego cutter. That's it. I don't, So that's what we're doing.
So, I mean, I think you did it. You definitely proved a point in the world. Yeah. That's for sure.
Not just a little one. That's just, you know what I mean? These new ones, like going sevens, being the first one in the seven. Because, we beat it and we went faster and whatever. But still, it's not been in sevens. That's the real prover. Getting something like that.
That was our original goal.
Yes.
Was the sevens. I mean, Matt broke it. That's awesome. But that.
Right. It hasn't changed.
Done.
Right. Not at all. No. Right. So. But I want to do it with that car on the same setup and just keep going faster on it. I don't want to have to put it in a chassis car because somebody went out there and fucking broke my record. So leave it alone. But I'll put it in a tube chassis car. I just have to make sure they know because I know.
I'll let them do it.
We're gonna get this.
I don't think
Your leave, man.
I know, right? Yeah,
and I don't think they know how old it is. That
30+ pounds in less than a second in second gear.
I'm about it. I like that. That sounds good. You know what I mean?
We've gotten going from a first gear leave to a second gear leave at Beaver Springs, which Beaver's awesome. The guys are awesome. This shape of the track that they have.
In the days that we get to race, it's always our events are in and it's just by luck. They fall on fucking 90-degree days. Yeah. It's just not our luck on racing.
Yeah, man.
But it's still the fact of the matter. He's doing this at Beaver Springs, so he's getting 117 60 foots right. At Beaver Springs,
and with no prep.
Yeah, the track is sticky. It works good with the radial, but the thing is a washboard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's we go 460s with our small tire car, and every single bump on the track, wheel speed spike.
And you can see, and it's wild because you can see it down the track. Them cars are fucking looking wild. They're watching Jensen's car. It's some wild shit watching them cars go that fast down the track and how much they move and because you can see it's the track. Moving the car line, like you said, watching. It's wild.
Comparatively, the same exact tune-up that we go a 468 at Beaver Springs, if we load the car up, take it down to Cecil County with the same exact tune-up in it, it will go 440.
Oh yeah.
And this is a track that Matt broke the record on with lack of passes, and there's still a big lack of knowledge in how this transmission even actually works.
But that's people say oh, cars down our way aren't that fast, blah blah, But they don't understand these guys that are saying that are running on some of the best tracks. The guys down here that are running that are going fast, you're talking about, in the fours and stuff. I'd like to see a lot of them cars that say that stuff that go fours on these tracks that are perfect come down to another track that you actually have to do tuning and tune your suspension because that's a whole nother ball game.
Yes. Suspension's on the
Yep.
Oh yeah, suspension is everything. When you get to applying that much power to a car, suspension.
No, and every time we're standing in line and we'll stand there and you got your earphones on, I let you do your thing with your guy and you guys make the pass. And I'm always after, what's up? What do you think? And you always tell me be I think we're going to do this. You always have, soon as the pass is over, you already have a game plan on what you're going to do for the next pass. And sometimes I look at you and I'm like, that fucking look good to me. What are you really trying for here, bro? What are you doing?
Heads up.
Yeah.
When you're doing heads up racing, if you're not trying to go personal best every single pass, you should not be doing heads up racing.
You're right. Yeah. And it don't matter if you're testing or
faster.
Yep.
That's the way it is.
And this is a big topic too, because we talk about a lot of people complaining about pushing their cars to the limit and being worried about a whole lot of things.
Listen, are you talking about World Cup stuff? Because look, some of them guys at World Cup need to stop that shit. I don't like sitting in the stands and watching that. And if I get to race and I have to watch that shit for an hour in my fucking suit,
The new,
oh my god! Oh yeah, it is.
Jason Miller put out the new
You're right.
the new rule set Jason Miller put out is pretty solid. And
Well, I seen it. Yeah.
how strict that thing was. It was
Yeah.
pretty simple, but it solves
Like,
a lot of
yeah.
problems. But it's a lot of people that
That's like the whole.
it's taking your time. But it's also it relates to taking your time and wanting to push the limits of something. You can't just. A lot of people want to throw a whole lot of power at everything and don't think about anything that's going to happen after that. They don't think about the stock flex plate that was left in their car. They don't think about the stock drive shaft, stock U joints, wrong valve springs like you had happen where you're compressing things way more than they should be, and then you break it. You know what I mean? Like,
I got a good one.
oh, hey, let's hear it because I want to talk more about stuff that. You know, there's a with power becomes a lot more responsibility, and people lack the responsibility. I feel like, in a lot of things that are going on.
Yeah.
Is it I've never watched Spider-Man.
Responsibility, but it's also you got to think about like how much power you're making. Like if you're making over 500 wheel horsepower in a car, like you should have some good driveline components.
Yeah.
You should have a blast shield around your clutch.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. For
Prime example, one of my buddies, thank God he's all right. We just finished up tuning his mud truck. He has an LS7 in the thing with
I've seen the videos of it.
boarded angle cut set of heads, freaking badass intake. Like, I think it was a Texas Speed 4.2 stage. One of the biggest cams you can shove in a stock body LS7.
Right.
Dude, that motor combo on his mud truck and the gear ratio that it was in, it made about 550 to the tire. That same motor combo in a LS7 Vet usually makes about 700 plus.
Mm-hmm.
So he takes that thing out there. He tries a little bit higher of a gear going through a mud pit. The clutch doesn't hold on to the motor. It goes up to a 7,000 RPM chip, and that flywheel came out of that thing like a bomb. He did not have a blow-proof bell housing on it.
I saw the pictures.
Oh, yeah. Like, it ripped a hole through the floor, all the way through the cowl. There's clutch springs laying all... Like, it shredded everything.
Mm-hmm.
Luckily, him and his passenger did not have a scratch on him. But if you have a 10-pound hunk of cast iron flywheel come out at 7,000 RPM, not everyone's that lucky. No. If it hits your... Human bodies are squishy. If you get hit by metal,
it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt, or you're not gonna have legs. Like, yeah, like think as you're building your stuff, and actually, like, if you're making power, be responsible. Put the right equipment in your car.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it looks janky, it probably is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A Rock Auto clutch is not going to hold up to 800 flywheel horsepower and 7,000 RPM.
That was in that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Good old Rock Auto. He got a free magnet though.
Well, I see Team U. You can build an LS fucking motor with them guys. I did it. It runs.
Timu camshafts for LS and test it out once to see what does.
Yeah. Look, there's a guy out there built a whole LS motor off of Team U and then was trying and testing it out and stuff, and it actually ran pretty well.
You're telling me you get like a whole camshaft and not one the size of that matchstick?
Oh no, you get like a whole cam kit.
Oh,
springs, everything.
Yep.
Off of Team.
I'm surprised there's not bolt-on lobes for that shit. Like,
oh my!
You just wrench them down with Allen key fasteners and call her good.
Sounds like a terrible idea.
It does, but if I don't care about the motor I put it in, it won't really matter.
I know a couple guys that are building cars out of Amazon, eBay, and Temu, and I think they're probably having more fun than anyone. Like, because these guys, they know they're gonna destroy it. Like,
yeah, it's about the fun factor. I mean, if you're trying to do something serious and have something last, put good parts in it.
Yes.
If you're just trying to screw around and have fun all weekend, if it blows up, whatever, go for it, man.
And then there's some shit, no matter what parts you put in it, sometimes it just doesn't work the way you want it to.
Oh yeah.
A lot of trial and error.
Yeah, tons. That's like right back to like I was saying about throwing them rods in my bird, you know. I had good parts on that, but there was a lot of things that I was a little skimp on. Well, obviously it was the stock bottom end for one. I had idea I was going to take a stock bottom end 6-liter and make 1100 horse to a stick car, and it survive, misshifts and shit like that. Cause like, I'm not perfect and I like to go from third to back down. I've done it, but whatever. And it would definitely, or if I would shift the car too early and put load on it, it didn't like that either. I had to do it once on me like that. But, when you take that kind of horsepower and like Tom can tell you, I probably went through 100 diapers, them engine diapers do not last long for me the way I street drive them. Like I have to put one on every couple of weeks because I'll look underneath the car. I'm like, oh, it's good. Next thing you know, it's getting eaten up somehow, and it's wild. But I try to keep that on them, and I do. I have a quick time bell housing on my Bird and a reed on the 4L60.
Say that 4L60 I am so impressed with that. When I had the thing back when we were first getting into it, I didn't even know what that was, but it was very well made.
Yeah, the build adapter for the Reed 400 case.
Super nice.
And I had friends with help from friends to tell me what to do about all that kind of stuff too. And like Pete over at Circle D is the man. And I don't care what anybody says about anybody else. I don't care how good anybody else. You're not going to get a guy like Pete that's going to help you as much as Pete does and do what Pete does. You're just not. The guy's awesome. You could text him, and I'm not telling you to. I might have late at night, but he'll get right back to you. He's a man. You know what I mean? And that's worth gold right there when you have questions and stuff like that. Because when I had my bolt together for my 400, that was the first, 400 I had. And I did have the 383, but I had a problem with it and I had to pull it. And, we talked about it and he sent me another stator. And and before I even bought the bolt together, going back to, good stuff, using good stuff, instead of having to send it back, wait for him to cut it open, weld it back together with the right one and send it back to me, he overnighted me. And I was back to racing the next weekend. And I, you know what I mean? And we were good to go. And, guys like him in this industry are gold. And you'll come to find out, not everybody's your buddy, but there's some guys out there who want to see everybody shine, and they're the ones that you want on your side,
Yeah, at the end of the day, we're all doing this for some money, but at the same time, a lot of us, I know you guys are in this because you actually fucking love it. And you do want to see everybody shine except for your 4L60 record. You tell them to go fuck themselves. That's right. That's kind of, I want to sleep good at night. And I want your shit to work, and I want you to go fast as hell, because that's just good for everybody.
Yeah. And that's good. Like, when we first got together and you came down the track and you were there, that's my son. It's like John. John, is down there all the time with them guys, always helping them and whatnot. But, and I'll go down with my buddies too. I don't care if I got to back them up or pour a puddle, or I hope I get to at least back them up. Pouring puddle is kind of bitch shit, but I'll do that too. But yeah, I don't care. Take the videos. I like taking the videos. I think I do a good job. I don't know. Maybe I don't, but they don't never tell me I do a bad job. So, but yeah, John's always there. He's
summertime. I basically live at the drag strip.
But that's what you got to do to have, be good at what you do.
Yeah, that's what matters. If in my business, you never see a transmission builder going anywhere.
No.
That's
not unless they race themselves.
It's different because me personally, no, I don't really have a race car compared to some of you guys, you know what I mean? And for me to build serious shit, well, it's only beneficial that I go out and ride in some stupid shit like Howie Price's wagon with fucking twin turbos and 8,000 pounds with a 60 in it, and understand how it feels. He let me drive it. It felt like driving a school bus that was really fast, but it felt great. So I know okay, obviously, do not change anything. I like this. And, he's tuning, he's learning, you're learning how to drive. Like, you know,
I'll never learn how to
oh,
drive.
you suck.
It's all right. I'll get there someday. Probably not
I've seen
soon.
all these cars. I don't even drive any of them.
That's okay though. You know what? That's
I'm a dad and
Making all this.
you'll never go home sad because you broke your car.
Never.
Tom will tell you before I would go to the racetrack sometimes back in the day, I broke so much shit, I get kind of a little sick and nervous about going. People are like, why are you nervous to make a pass? I'm not nervous to make the pass. I'm nervous to go home with a broken fucking car. I got to stay up till 3 o'clock in the morning and fix. You know, if I stay up to 3 in the morning, lunchtime tomorrow at work, we're going doing hits out on some back road because that's what I do
Please
to
don't
make sure it's
modify your daily
good.
driver. Please don't modify your daily driver.
My daily
I'm telling everybody else not to modify the daily driver.
Oh
You get a
yeah.
lot of people who are like, I pulled my transmission out, I need it right now. And it's like, absolutely
Yeah, no.
not happening.
It's not fun.
I have done so many 5th gen Camaros now. that I don't even have to pay for licenses through HB tuners and crap like that, which takes a couple hundred licenses.
You gotta do a lot.
For cars. I think it's either 400 or 600. I forget what it
That
is.
sounds awful.
Oh, fucking cars.
Yeah. So that's between me and Joe, though. So that's
Right. Still a lot of cars. You were there the whole time. It's a part of you. What do you mean?
It's just 5th. That's 2010 to 2013 Camaros. That's
You'd always have 2 or 3 of them there when I was there, and you'd have them on the side of the building, and they're all
more
over.
F35 cams and 5th gens than I can more than I can remember.
Oh yeah.
And yes, John shares all of this stuff on his Facebook page all of the time.
Oh yeah.
Out
Yeah, he's
whenever you want.
legit.
Crazy Dyna videos. There's imports and crazy stuff on there. It's some nice stuff. You should definitely check it out.
Yeah, I share what I can. There are probably about a dozen times a year I get like whatever no time crap or whatever where guys are like, you can't even like look at the car, or shut your phone off, like. But I mean, some of the nitrous ones that I've had on dyno and stuff are tuned by a guy from New York that's probably one of the best nitrous tuners in the United States, and he brings some pretty serious shit to the dyno. Like it's pretty radical, but it's pretty cool shit.
So make sure you check that out on his page.
Why is it going towards you?
I don't know. It's weird.
What's going towards you?
Washing machines.
God damn.
But
It's strawberry bullshit.
Yeah. It's good. I like it. I don't
Can you
even
give me that
know.
propane torch?
What are we doing?
This is how we do. What are we doing?
other than that, I will elaborate real quick.
We are doing.
Yeah, in the middle of this chaos, so there's so much going on. Nobody knows what's happening. It's just-
I did race at one point, mainly dirt track racing. I've done a bunch of bracket racing with drag racing and stuff. Mostly all I do anymore is tune drag cars. So I do track power management, suspension tuning. I've cut apart chassis cars, fix suspension stuff and everything. Do big tire, small tire, whatever. Mainly turbo stuff. A lot of blower stuff, nitrous stuff. Not really. But I used to do dirt track racing for like a while, and when you talk about breaking your stuff,
Oh yeah.
every day,
$600 a week in tires, and
minimum.
towing gas to get out there, race gas in the car, freaking stupid stuff happening, like absolutely retarded stuff happening.
And it's a lot of stuff, and it's a lot of stuff that could be out of your control too, which compares to a lot of things and all sorts of like motorsports together.
The first year I put an entire new body on my car with a 6th gen Camaro nose, the tail, freaking thing looked slick as hell. Take it out there, opening lap of, I think it was like the Keystone, like 50 or whatever, we're running at Clinton County, freaking pile up in the first corner, like right off the checker or the green flag, and just like wadded the entire body up on the car. I probably had like $5,000 in like aluminum and nose and tail and shit, like, all gone.
That's like one of the guys. I go up to the media a lot just to watch, and one of the guys finished this beautiful '69 Camaro, all black, brand new. And the first drive, both, I think every stud on the axle stripped and both slicks went right up in the quarters and blew them out completely. Car's fucked. But It happens.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Let's touch on that subject real quick.
You want to touch on that?
If you are making 1,000 wheel horsepower or more, put 5/8 studs on your car.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I did
Especially
learn.
if your car weighs more than like 2,800 pounds.
I have them on my daily.
Pounds or more. Put
Since you
5/8
daily.
studs on it if you make.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
I never knew, and I'm not very experienced in racing like these two, but I did learn finally in my life the lug nuts are a fucking wear item.
Oh
I
yeah.
never knew that.
Well,
Half inches are just
Yeah,
fucking bad.
and wait, do you try to take one off? Holy hell!
yeah. You gotta try to rotate the tire, fucking
In the middle of a parking lot, yeah. But yeah, I know there's a lot of shit every year. Every year it's something. Yeah, wheel studs.
They're important.
They are very important. So are good lug nuts and an extra set of lug nuts if you're doing drag and drives and heavy racing and all that shit. Because on those, you have to change your tires all the time, every race, which is pretty rough.
I've lost a rim on the highway with my bird. I was getting on the highway. They all had to come up and save me. I had a buddy in the car. We were going out to do a hit. I went to hit second gear, and the fucking thing just started spinning up the on-ramp, and I went across the median and watched the tires go by. Like, holy fuck, it didn't hurt the car, but yeah. It was,
Dude, we did that same thing. 1,000 wheel horsepower freaking shop truck that we had, little turbo truck, ripping up 93 on the thing. Just rolled into it in high gear, and freaking we started cutting sideways across the freaking lanes. We're like, what the hell's going on? Tire rolls right by us.
Yup.
Sheared all wheel studs off.
Yup.
But that's what happens when you have a 400-pound truck with half-inch wheel studs. Like,
Did it shear him like
no.
flush? Mine was flush with the rotor. Like it was like,
yeah.
boom. I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Like it looked like somebody did perfect cuts on them. Yeah, yeah. That was not a fun time. Oh, I can imagine. It wasn't for me when I did it.
No, I've never lost a wheel.
Yeah, dragging a cow track going down the road at 100 miles an hour sucks.
Oh, I can imagine. Yeah, no.
No.
I mean, you had a close call with your oil pan after you went off roading at Beaver, and
Oh yeah, yeah.
discovered it
That was
2 days later.
yeah. That thing was like caved in.
Yeah, I think I remember. Do you have a picture of that?
Shit.
We'll have to throw that. We'll have to throw that in here because that was fucking crazy.
The black Camaro that we wheelied really bad at Beaver Springs,
Uh-huh.
that thing came down. That had I think it was the Spawn
The wheelie bar.
remember?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cradle or maybe whatever BMR, whatever popular brands or whatever. Dude, when that thing came down, it hit so hard, it bent the entire bottom of the rack mount and everything, the whole cross member up like 1.5 inches.
No shit.
Bent the oil pan into the
The windage tray.
windage tray.
Yes.
And the rods were hitting the oil pan. We still ran that thing because it wasn't making noise.
That's wild. Yeah, like
We went back out and went 530s with it.
right, like nothing even happened.
What you made was a better baffle in the oil pan.
Yeah.
Self-clearing.
Yeah.
530s
Very
and
good.
the eighth is like 140 miles an hour.
Uh-huh.
So that's not slow.
No, not at all.
That's-
No.
That's fast as shit.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, that's cooking it for sure.
Yeah, and, everything's getting faster every year. That's what amazes me. Yeah, super progression.
500 horsepower isn't nothing anymore.
Yeah, so Evan entered.
Factory.
I'll be honest though, and I tell people like the ZL1 1LE I have. They're like 650 at the crank, 650 or something with the torque too.
Yeah.
And then what do they make like 5 something at the wheel and shit?
550, 560 stock.
I fucking love that car. I'll never mod that car. That's one car I will never fucking touch. It's my girlfriend's. So, but she wouldn't care. But I drive the shit out of it because this is the old one. Why wouldn't I? But even if she wanted to, I wouldn't do it because it's just fun. It's fun. It does what I want it to do. It's a 6-speed car. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like making 1,000 horse would ruin it. I don't know. Not everything needs to make 1,000 horse. Like, my fucking God.
No, I feel that way about a lot of cars I've driven. Like,
Number.
yeah, it's just a fucking number. And if that thing feels great with 400 fucking horsepower, leave it alone.
Yeah, have fun if you're enjoying it. Because once you add power, shit breaks.
Lots of problems.
I don't want to work on
I
it.
tell people this all the time, especially with transmissions. If you are not ready, if you have 1,000 horsepower, you better be ready for 1,000 horsepower problems.
I
They're a
know.
lot bigger than 400 horsepower.
And I don't want to do that on a brand new car. I mean, like, my God, everybody's like, when are you going? They're so easy to make 1,000 with. They're just port the blower and blah, blah. And I'm like,
Turn the turbo out.
1,000 horsepower cars do I need? I got fucking 4 of them. My fucking tow truck makes 1,000.
Let's talk about that for a minute. So you have a 500 wheel horsepower NA car.
Uh-huh.
You're driving that thing down the road. You're freaking ripping on it. All of a sudden, starts kind of misfiring or something. You can have an injector go half-mast or take a crap on a 500
You're good.
NA motor, and it will not eat itself.
Right.
1,000 horsepower with booster nitrous.
Call
And
it
you
that.
have an injector go out.
Yeah.
You're building a new motor.
Oh, yeah. For fucking sure. Put that thing on the wall.
You think you're gonna be able to treat that like
Yeah.
a daily driver or not maintenance it and not check up on injectors, check your plug wires, change plugs in the thing regularly, do all the normal stuff that you do with race car stuff, you're gonna hurt it eventually.
And honestly,
That stuff needs to be looked at.
if you're having injector problems, you're going to be building a fucking transmission too on top of a motor, because everything relies on that VE table for the most part. More or less, it's all torque based. So yeah, you're talking a whole car in the end. Sometimes
Yeah.
that's kind of what it is. That's why I don't have 1,000 horsepower. I have 300, 400. That's it.
Let's talk about some of the cars that you've built trans for me through the years.
Oh,
We can start 10 years ago.
what's your favorite?
Man, you know what?
That's a hard.
I won't
There's a
even-
lot.
There is a lot. I don't know.
You, I mean,
None of my own stuff. I can say that. I
just the
don't.
word. That's
Yeah. But I always thought, man, dude, there's so many of them. I don't want any of my customers to get mad either.
We're just gonna start blackmailing people. What happened to the white truck?
Yeah.
What
Okay.
happened to the white
So
truck? There's zero answer.
we were
Seen
just
the
talking
transmission
about it.
back from that because
So-
apparently somebody had some knocking problems that were.
I built Mad 4L80, and we don't know if the 4L80 blew up or the motor blew up or both.
It don't run yet.
Yeah.
Put that on her. I've been fucking fighting with it. I actually talked to John a while ago about it.
Oh, that's
And then, yeah,
I was telling you about it.
yeah.
So here's the thing. Here's
Hasn't ran with that 408 because I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I work on it an hour a week. Like, let's be real. I'm fucking
man.
sick of it.
That's
Yeah.
not enough to put a stud in. Holy hell.
Oh, dude, I'm telling you. But I've been slowly doing my checklist on stuff of what it could be and slowly tracking it down. But man, I've done a lot of shit that went from 24X to 58X and never had these fucking issues that I'm having with this truck. But I'm just so busy on other people's shit now.
Have you ever done the 24 or 58X and built a motor and forgot to put the fucking reluctor wheel on?
Well, no, but I can tell.
yes.
Oh no. Oh well, that might happen.
MSD crank trigger.
There you go.
Yeah.
It happens.
It does seem
Such
such.
sensors and crank sensors on LS motors.
Oh, fucking so critical.
If you can, don't even buy a new one.
No,
Don't.
junkyard.
Go to a dealership, go to a freaking scrapyard and pull one out of an old motor with 200,000 miles on it, and you will not have any issues.
This is why I'm on Facebook on a post still on my page asking for one because I can't get one and I need one. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the reason.
I have my buddy that comes to the shop, go Harry's, you pull it and grab us a bunch of them.
I'm like, I'll fucking
I
pay it.
always keep
I'm over it.
a bunch of greasy old crank sensors in the drawer.
It's smart.
The grease. It keeps them good.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I used them all on my customer shit.
I mean,
China.
I'll be real with you.
Yeah,
it's quality.
It is.
yeah.
We see it with shift solenoids and EPCs. We throw away more money in new electronics than a 30-year-old one that still will work flawlessly.
Yeah.
You just change a fucking O-ring on it. I have them in my own fucking transmission. They're from 1993 and they're fine. But new ones, they fuck. I don't know what it is. I don't know.
Electronics, yeah. I just had a sniper. I had a Mustang come in a Fox body. I had a sniper on it. And I
I have a great topic.
He was at another shop and they couldn't figure out what was wrong with it, and they tried to do 100 things. So I talked to the guy at shop. He told me everything he did to it. I'm like, that's literally everything you can do to check if these things are fucked up, except for changing the goddamn sniper. So thank God I have stockpiles of Hollies, snipers, Dominator stuff, HP. I'm a hoarder when it comes to Holly shit. I got like 30 of them on deck at my house. That's not a lie. And I just took one off and put another on and it started up and ran fine. What do you know? What do you know?
What's the deal? Why are they?
EMI.
Yeah, man.
I can
It's
answer
the
it.
freaking EMI with the snipers. That and injectors that are,
The injectors were sticking on it, dude. It was just flooding the thing out.
yeah.
Couldn't get it.
That's unfortunately that's common. Holly makes great product.
Oh, they do.
Sniper line that developed from the MSD Atomic line.
Yeah.
It just wasn't that great.
Yeah, no.
So I can give you a rundown of the cars that I have at my shop with Sniper. I have a 1970 429 Cobra Jet 4-speed car done. I got a I just got rid of a 70 Mach 1, a green one, and put a Sniper on it. I got a silver 70 Mach 1 at my house that has a Sniper 2 on it. The Trino's a Sniper 2 as well. I got a Sniper 2 on the 572 big block Jeep downstairs I'm doing. I got a Holly Terminator Max on the 73 Camaro I'm doing. I'm doing a Toyota Land Cruiser 79, an 89 that's LS swap that has a Holly Terminator Max on it. I have I have all 6 of my cars that have what else do we have there, Tom, that has them on it? There's other cars there that have them on it too. But anyways, here the reason why what I'm trying to say is I deal with these so much and I do so many of them and I'm so familiar with them. And like, I have had a lot of problems with them. When you do these things a lot, you get familiar with their little hiccups they have. And like, you'll run into something, you're like, oh man, like, cause you've been there before. But if you don't do them a lot, I can see how it can drive somebody to the point of just wanting to sell a car when they can't figure out what's wrong with it because of the electronics and like they're trying to check everything else besides the Holly itself. Like I'll interchange ECU, I'll pull an ECU out and stuff a new one and quicker and shit to make sure it's not the ECU because I've had them they just, I not brink them. I've never brinked one. I thought I have until I called my buddy Jack and he's like, he didn't brink them. They don't really brink, but I've had them just do weird shit and like do encrypted tunes. They don't sit like not with the Dominator. I haven't had a problem yet with my HP, but Terminator on them chips, I've had put tunes in and I went in later and because it wouldn't run worth shit. And I looked and it zeroed out my fueling map and stuff. And it did like, it will just wipe shit out. And I don't understand why, because I'll re-upload the tune and it'll be fine the next time. But like, there's weird stuff like that. I've seen there. And like, if you don't do them a lot, and you get into something and you're not willing to pay somebody to figure it out for you, which can be costly anyways, like it will ruin your drive to like want to have something like that. And that's just electronics. Like these people that want to work on themselves and whatnot, at home, it's just, good luck.
You gotta be self-sufficient. So,
Yes.
like I cannot tell you, I have 2 5-gallon buckets in my shop next to the dyno, next to my whole tuning cart and crap like that. One of them is filled with spark plugs.
Yes.
The other one is filled with spark plug wires.
Yep.
More than half of the spark plugs that are in the bucket are cracked because someone cracked plugs when they put it in. Cracked plugs don't misfire at idle.
It's under load.
You know where they misfire? At load.
But they put them in right before you got to it.
Yeah.
They do it for you.
And then spark plug wires, those stupid little freaking fiberglass sleeves that people think that they can lay against the headers and be fine.
They don't even
That
work.
don't work.
No.
It don't work.
Definitely not on our
Stop
shop.
laying your plug wires against the headers. I don't even care if you have the ceramic boot ones. Don't put them against freaking headers.
I don't think they're against the header, but they might be light.
Yeah.
They might be light. Like the shop truck.
They could be close.
Yes.
As long as they're not burning through.
Especially ceramics. Yes.
Throw 'em away.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, no, yeah, for real.
Yourself
That
some
stuff-
real headache.
100%. but it's maintenance. It's maintaining what you've built over time. Like after you put one part on this thing, it ain't stock anymore. It's all downhill from there. I feel like, and a lot of people don't remember that. And once you stick a cam in your engine, it's game over from there. It's tuning from there. You don't put the right springs in it, like you have happened. You know, you're compressing too much stuff. Stuff's blowing out of the head at that point. And then,
or the best one, which we get all the fucking time, they put a fucking like 600 lift cam in it and want to daily drive that thing to work every fucking day at 30 miles an hour.
4,000 stall.
And then, yeah, with a 4,000 stall, and they want it to be reliable, and I lose my mind every time, but I just shut up about it.
Stall converters make heat.
Oh yeah.
A lot.
Heat kills transmissions. Like
It's not just me, guys.
it's cool to have a hog ass. It's cool to have a hog ass.
Yeah.
The tuner,
But don't put it in your daily driver.
I'm
Come on.
I'm known for blaming the tune, but the tuner's vouching for me right now, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I just put a True Cool 4000 on everything with the Spall fans. I'm done with it. I don't even worry about shit. I put it on all my customer stuff, everything.
it's also recommended in our instructions. If you're supposed to read that, mandatory instructions and warranty information available for download in the website.
There you go.
Yep.
Well, it's like the Australian. I mean, he was cool, but like that was like 250 degrees. Like, no, it's not.
I mean, we can talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
All
All right. I mean, Warren, look, for the preface, this dude, we're good. He's cool. He loves it, and he's going out there right now.
Yeah, if I can find it. It's really awesome Australian, which we've had nothing but awesome luck with our Australians. They're absolutely killer. Warren Apap, absolute legend. If I have a video of the dyno pool or something, we'll put it up there. Ryan's the editing guy now, so he's pretty good at that stuff. Yeah, slushy machine for the win. Slushy machine for the win. But this man went out and made a whopping like 13 slushy. No slushy. There's a cup somewhere.
Yeah.
This guy went out and made a whopping 13 to 1400 all wheel horsepower in a Holden wagon, full weight, like on a hub dyno, on a single disc converter without a billet backing.
Basically, I'm not talking shit on Summit because I love Summit, but like it was like the cheapest quality bargain brand converter I think you could buy.
But yeah, he didn't know.
Yeah, he didn't know.
No fault. He was an absolute legend for it. But like this thing made 6 or 7 1200 plus all wheel horsepower passes, nitrous assisted supercharger. And then made 3 or 4. Yeah, it's probably 5,000 pounds. And then made 3 or 4 wide open first through fourth lockup passes on the strip before it even decided to weld itself together.
Yeah, so his
it's insane. There's a picture of the converter ring completely blown out.
They didn't know. We sell to a lot of overseas. We sell to Australia, Bulgaria, United Kingdom, which all they have is Hummer H.
Kuwait's on that list.
English people like Hummer H2s. It's really fucking weird, but
such a big vehicle.
Yeah, such a big vehicle for tiny roads. But the Australians, they are my favorite. They're the craziest. They just want to go have fun, and they thought lockup was, an
extra gear,
basically, and it locks it. It's better. Well, yeah, sort of, but not really. So they rode that converter clutch through multiple
legends. And Ryan had to remember that there's Celsius and not Fahrenheit.
Yeah,
between things. When
I forgot kilometers and Celsius. That's how they talk, and we're like inches and Fahrenheit.
Yeah, we have to be weird. So stuff like that.
Freedom units, and then they sent me a picture because I couldn't figure out what was wrong because they don't know. They're trying to explain the best they can. And then the picture is very clear. A bright green converter with a black burnt welded ring all the way around where the clutch is, and it was pretty obvious where the problem was. So, but
buy for sufficiency.
I've never seen 4 happy Australians as much as them.
Man, there's never been an unhappy Australian so far. They're absolutely insane. And then we got burnout cars.
Yeah,
at Preston. Building a Mini Cooper.
Yeah, for Cletus's burnout contest.
That thing is insane. It's insane. Randy here built.
Since I have a Mini Cooper and I love it, that's one of the little 300 horsepower cars I'm talking about because I'm fucking lame. When the kid told me he was doing that and doing a turbo like LS Mini Cooper thing, I was on board. I was like, how do you fit it? everything. Like
You guys gotta check him out too. Garage Idiots on
Yeah,
YouTube.
Garage
I believe
Idiots.
it's on Instagram too.
Amazing
Absolute
guy.
legend. He does some cool stuff on there and some cool fabrication.
and
projects.
he really puts his heart and soul into it.
Yeah. Absolute legend. And went out there and absolutely killed the burnout and stayed cool the whole time. It's no problems whatsoever.
Probably the most unique thing there.
Yeah. I don't think anybody was just taking an S10, slapped a Mini Cooper on it, welded it together, and what? It wasn't that long. It took him very little time to build that.
Yeah, it was like 2 months.
Yeah, straight up.
And the wastegate was like glowing red.
Yeah, something like that. It was good. It was insane. It was absolutely outrageous.
And it only wouldn't start because of like the overheating and all the shit, but everything was fine.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
So he pretty much drove it out of there.
Wild.
Amazing. There's another couple. I need to think a little bit on some of the other stupid shit we've done. I know a while back we did an Astro.
There's a Viper.
There's a
I don't,
Viper.
there's a Viper. Okay, so there is a confirmed Viper. Now, this guy is an absolute legend. He calls us every now and then. He's going to actually stroke his motor out, but
Yeah, he put it in. He hooked the 4L60E up to a Viper motor. V10.
one of our black editions.
He got bored with that after everything ran great for like 2 weeks, and he's rebuilding the engine right now with a stroker crank and a V10.
And apparently this thing currently makes around 13 to 1400
Yeah,
to the wheel.
I don't know
And
what adapters he used.
who knows, but he must be one hell of a mad genius. I don't know. He told us he had like
Oh,
we'll have to look up his order.
State.
It might be.
he's out
It's
there.
West Coast.
Yeah.
I was going to say
He has a
beat Viper.
Mercedes CL.
Come out your state.
He has a Mercedes CLK or SLK with a 4L60 in it too. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, he was just telling us he had all these 4L60 swap cars.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense.
What is it? Why?
I don't know.
What?
I'll tell you what, it was one of those calls you get that's like so surreal, you don't think the guy's for real. And he's like, yeah, I have this Viper I'm building. I want to swap it to a 60. I'm looking to order a black edition right now. And usually, like me, like, you know, the whole state, the whole world's in right now. Nobody just calls you and asks for a black edition for a Viper.
Right.
I'm just going to pull out. Everybody goes sequential in those things. They go 200 plus, 270 miles an hour, whatever the hell it is. And he just wants 60
We like it.
and wants to put an adapter on it.
Side, we just sent one out today for an armored vehicle in Mexico. I don't know if I should talk about that, but
That's pretty cool.
we did.
Pretty cool. 8,600 pounds.
No shit.
4L60.
Yeah, whatever. I mean,
They want it.
Howie does it every day. You know what I mean? He drags that shit across the country for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Big happy family.
The trailer
Yeah, I mean,
and us fat asses.
yeah, Catch the Price family on sick week, by the way.
I gotta get my real ID or I won't be.
Yeah, Randy really needs to get on that. That's a problem.
I used to ride around full armored shit. That was fun.
What?
Oh, yes, you did. Yeah.
What kind of armored shit did you ride around?
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Thank you for your service. Yeah, we can at least.
Nah, I was basically a nerd in the Marine Corps for the most part.
Nerds rule the world, bro.
We were and we weren't. We're the part of the air wing in the Marine Corps that got attached to like infantry units most of the time. So we got to see a lot of cool stuff. But I mean, yeah, we worked on drones and shit. So it was like my main job was like troubleshooting like radar systems, satellite control shit, freaking fiber optic modems, like programming flight control stuff on.
Yeah, you're past me.
Yeah, like
already. Holy hell.
You must have liked it enough because you became a.
Boy, we
You know what I mean? You became a.
way different 20s. Dude.
Yeah.
Life in the 20s and my life in the 20s. Is
oh, I still did lots of crazy stuff. Like, I mean, we were partying and jumping off the third deck of the barracks and stuff, doing all kinds of crazy crap.
like shit.
Yeah.
It's a good quality army joke.
Is this where we get banned on YouTube?
Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, I won't pick on the Army or anything
Yeah.
other than the Air Force, but whatever.
Ask you what branch did you make fun of the most?
Yeah.
Probably the Air
I
Force.
feel like that's pretty universal.
I hear they have.
Man.
My dad was one of those.
Oh,
I
yeah.
always was.
Yeah, I worked on stuff like that, so it was.
Cool.
I ended up being what was it? So I went in as like a basic maintainer, avionics tech dude, then worked my way up to being like a technical inspector and doing all crap like that. So like anytime someone like opened up a compartment on aircraft, I'd like inspect it so they could like seal it back up, make sure they had all their crap signed off saying that they did the work right and everything. Then I ended up doing like quality assurance stuff. So it was like inspecting other shops and then like doing testing stuff. And like anytime we get like a new experimental airframe crap or like whenever we get like a new airframe or something, I'd be out there like learning all the stuff. So like me and some other guys would go around, like learn the system. Then we put together, you know, courses that we could like teach all the other guys like how to use them and stuff.
I have an excellent piece of literature from the Army on how to service a 4L80 out in the field, and it is a web of yes, it does this, and no, it does not do this, and it is the best thing I've ever read in my life. And honestly, you can probably find a PDF on the Pirate Bay or something. Not telling you to steal shit, but it is a great tool. The Army has it down.
I believe it.
I want to talk about something with people from the military, just for employees' sake and stuff like that. So
We gotta keep in mind.
yeah, I'm not used to have this in my hand.
Out of this.
He just
I'm not
goes
doing
fast.
good with this.
He just goes fast.
That's all I can
His
do.
only job is to go fast and break records, and that's all that matters.
I'm
Doing that.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, he just.
Trouble.
I don't know. He usually doesn't hold something for that long. That's usually his.
I know. I don't know.
Usually 10 seconds and done.
But you know, having to hire guys and fire guys and deal with employees, you know, at my father's shop and mine and whatnot. I've come to realize I try to do internships with kids from college because, you know, I was a college kid once and I wanted to get in the field and learn stuff, and they're worthless. They're totally worthless. Me and Tom's caught people sleeping underneath cars. He's supposed to be standing rockers and like passing out in the middle of work days. Like they just come and go as they please. They have no sense of urgency whatsoever with anything.
It was a different time when you were like aspiring to be, you know, who you are, you know, working on cars.
Well, yeah, and I've had a lot of
somebody.
my thing is with me, I got lucky because I got around the right guys to teach me. I was really lucky. My dad wasn't really a mechanic. He was more of a body guy. So I got that aspect from him a little bit. He's like a kind of a restoration painter, so he doesn't have like the skill that I have now from what I have learned through the years, because I've been painting a lot longer than he ever has now. But you know, guys like Ed Strobel, his father was a mechanic for when Model Ts first started, you know, and he grew up working in a shop with his father. So he had, you know, knowledge from the beginning of time with cars all the way up until like 70s and 80 cars. So when I worked for Ed when I was younger, you know, I got to learn the old stuff, the real old stuff all the way up through. And then in the muscle car era was my dad, you know, he always raced and stuff. So I got to learn that from him. And then I went to college for collision repair to learn about newer cars. And the teachers there, you know, really worked with me real well. And I just been really lucky through the years to have. And one thing about me I always done is I've never been scared to hire somebody better than me, because I always want to learn, and it always pushes me to be better, because when I see somebody that's better than me, it makes me feel some type of way, because I always want, you know, everything's competitive for me. I don't care what it is. But when there's guys in my shop that are more knowledgeable than me, it makes me feel good, but it makes me feel like, well, I'm the owner of the shop. I should know this shit too, or be just as good. And like, we all have our areas, and we're not, you know, I can do a little bit of everything. Am I great at everything? No, but I can do a little bit of all. But when it comes to, I want to get back to the military thing. I've never hired guys in any other area of any expertise that listen, learn, pay attention, and ask questions better than people that's been out of the military. They have routines on how they do things. They are very like, you know, they're goal oriented. If they want to learn something, they will. And I got 2 young kids at the shop right now that are fresh out, and they've been home for like a year or 2 or whatever. The one has no experience. The other one's a great welder. And the one that welds, he's really good at what he does on fabricating side, and he's got good hands with mechanical stuff. Is he as familiar with it? No, he's mainly a welder, but the kid can do a little bit of everything.
That's the best.
They're not bad at nothing. And the kid that doesn't know anything, I like hiring guys that don't know nothing because I can teach them the way I learned and how I want to do it, and they don't give you problems. And these guys just like they're consistent. They work. They don't slack off. Every time I turn around, they're asking me questions on what else they want to do and what steps we're going to do it. And anybody ever want to learn and need a job and it's out of the military, come talk to me. Might not be able to hire you, but maybe eventually I can get you in, because the guy that talked to me about a job, Colin, that's with me now, asked a year ago when he came home. And I just wasn't, at that time, I was just moving out of my dad's and starting my own, so I didn't have enough business. But now that we're pumping out work, I'm starting to bring guys in, so you never know. And I'm getting another shop. I got about 12 cars I can fit in my shop at home now. I'm lucky as it is to even have something like that. But I had a thing that was pretty decent that fell through. But I'm looking to get a bigger shop. I need something that has at least 20 bays. We're going to do it sometime this year. I don't know when. I'm hopefully get done with the Pro Mod car first.
Second Chance Auto Restoration.
Yeah, Second Chance Auto.
Check them out.
But yeah, we do all types of shit. We do hot rods. I got a bunch of street rod stuff in there. I got a 73 Camaro downstairs for an old lady, and she's got tubular upper and lower control arms on QA1 everything, Viking coilovers front and back. It's got Viking springs on the back with some new leaf springs and whatnot. We didn't put cow tracks on it, but it's got vintage air on it, all that kind of stuff. We build cool stuff there, but them guys are really talented, and it don't take one time for them to catch on to something. That's it. One time they do it, and they take it in. They really do. It doesn't go in one ear and out the other or anything like that. But and they're good to be around. They're fun to be around. They're nice guys.
It's like a lot of time and dedication to something.
Yes.
So
If you can see if they care about it or not.
Immediately.
Where their attitude is at. Like, unfortunately, I haven't had the same experience as you. I do have one good kid. I mean, he is on point. But the other few I've hired right out of Votech or whatever, it's not.
It's a shit show.
It's awful. They read out of the textbook. They don't know, and they have no desire to. If you start breaking a sweat, they're over it. They're done.
Adapting.
Yeah.
Adapting altogether.
Life is hard, man. It's automotive isn't easy.
Yeah.
I know everybody does it, but not good.
The biggest thing is, like, I mean, you got military guys that you hire and you really like them and everything. Like, they're coming out of an area where they are told what to do and when to do it, and told exactly by the book, like how they're supposed to do it. So they're going from an environment where everything's structured, that they have, like, whatever, the basic skill set to have drive every single day to get their shit done.
Yeah.
And then they come to you in this industry that they're actually interested in. So if you take someone with that kind of drive and stick them in an industry that they want to learn and be in, they're really gonna bust their ass for you.
Oh yeah.
Especially if they can, like, have that little skill of improvising a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, I call it a skill because, like, common sense is a skill, improvising is a skill. There's a lot of little things.
Yeah, most of the stuff, like, I mean, like, talking about, like, doing, like, fabrication jobs and stuff like that, like, I've, having other guys in the shop and stuff around me, and even the guy that I have help me every now and then now, like, he's there, he's like, teach me how to do fabrication stuff. I'm like, I don't, like, I can tell you, like, teach you how to run a mill. I can teach you how to run a lathe. I can teach you how to weld, stuff like that, but I can't teach you, like, you have to have some artistic talent.
Yes.
Yeah.
To fabricate.
You have to have a vision.
Like, yeah, you got to be able to look at something and be like, I need to make a part to join these two parts together and make them fit correctly. And how am I going to do that?
Your imagination really has to run wild.
Oh, yeah.
Because everything, like, people are like, oh man, my daily driver, it's always in the shop, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, these are cars that are coming off an assembly line where everything is made for everything. We're building cars for shit that never is supposed to go on it, and these are random. Like these parts are all universal. You can put this on that and that on this, and it doesn't quite fit, but you can make it work if you do this, and if you're smart enough to do that.
It's our shop truck, a 52 pickup.
Oh my god, fuck that.
Ryan put a big block in it and decided that was a great idea, but
I built that with many cases of beer, an angle grinder, and a MIG welder with no gas originally.
That's the kind of shit I like to hear.
Terrible.
and then you get somebody who, I'm going to toot my own horn, has got a little bit of a head on his shoulders and likes to fabricate and
Wait.
that artistic feeling.
I don't want to eat Evan's ass too much, but going back from the fucking the people learning and everything from each other, when you build a network and hire like younger people, because he's like 10 years younger than me.
I'm 25.
Fucking like 35, dude. I'm almost dead. And he's taught me more than anybody about computers, fabrication, welding, machining. I know how to use a mill now. Like, that's the kind of shit your guys should be showing you that you are hiring, because there's no fucking way you're going to know it all and be perfect about it.
No, it's all time. It's time and dedication is what I call it. Time and dedication. If you want to do something, you're going to make it happen. A lot of people don't want to make it happen anymore.
No, I don't.
They hit that wall where they feel like they're stuck all the time, but you're not really stuck. You just gotta do it. And everybody just doesn't want to put that last bolt in sometimes.
That person will give you a jump start.
We built a whole truck, and it really is. It's one of those things where it's like, the haha, you buy a kit, you think it's gonna fucking work.
No, that didn't work.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Speedway fucking lied on that description. They didn't tell me about the difference between a 1 ton and a 3 ton. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Still fit my ass.
No, we're cutting $10,000.
Yeah. You're 12 grand deep. You made a mistake with your life. Your truck doesn't run. It's literally just 2 horseshoe frame rails that have been beat up over time and might fold in half any day. Yeah, and the crank might be walking out of this big block that Ryan put in there, a whole 8 inches crooked. I'm pretty sure the driveline angle wasn't up and down crooked. It was left and right crooked for the longest time.
Yeah.
And then it's a 513 rear. The input drum was completely falling out of the fucking transmission. I mean, it's ridiculous.
It was built out of scrap.
It was built out of scrap bin, but
Literally, I'm not lying.
you learn the hard way once you take a car apart and realize you got to go another 20 grand deep.
Oh yeah.
They were used such. Yeah.
Now you have to take the time and look at something, and it isn't going to get done overnight. You know what I mean? You're not going to look at snap your fingers.
The brake shit we went through.
The brake shit, you buy a shitty Chinese valve off of Amazon, and you replace the front brakes.
I went through 2 masters, 2 boosters, 4 valves, and at the end of the day, I fucking stopped and just looked and just laid there under the truck depressed, and then I saw it. The valve had been leaking along that C channel all the way down to the drain in my garage, and that's why no one saw it. I felt it in my face that one time.
That's great.
Dude,
Have that on the
I
big
can't-
jobs.
I've built so many like little one-off jobs, freaking sticking motors and crap that's not supposed to be and everything like
Yeah,
that.
pretty
Like,
much.
dude, that's
This
like
thing should not.
you have to love if you want to work in this industry, you have to love doing this stuff,
Yes.
because
Yes.
at the end of the day, you may build cool stuff, but it's gonna be painful the whole time.
You think that last
Like it's
1%,
just the way it is.
that last 1%. It's the last 1%. You think you're done.
Yeah.
And then you need to order 14 more bolts and then cut this cross member in half and weld it a half inch off. And then this transmission cross member doesn't
A
work
lot of
either.
women say we don't know what it means to give birth. No, we do. We work.
You know what happens though? Then you fire it up. You fire it.
Turning the key.
Then you fire. It's not even that you fired it up. You fired up after brake seized 14 times on the road because some faulty brake valve and then a lot of leaks. Then the starter blows off the thing.
If anybody wants to know, a 454 can plow through frozen brakes at 2,000 RPM, no problem.
No problem. Level 3 4L60. Go get it. Performabuilt.com.
Route 6, no issue. It's not torque converter.
Those brakes, we turned them blue. They were like 680 degrees when we stopped. I'm not even lying to you.
Going from the gas station midway in Old Berwick Road, which is like 2 miles. Dude, I plowed snow with that thing.
It was
In
bad.
my garage.
It was so bad.
Then in 5 o'clock in the morning,
It was 28 degrees
28
outside.
degrees, I'm forcing it back into my garage in reverse, and it's going. I'm gonna break something, or it's gonna go, or we're gonna break. I don't care. Runs out of gas right in the middle of the fucking.
No.
So at 5:34 in the morning, I get a text message, because I'm up all. I don't stop thinking about transmission shit anymore. It just runs through your fucking soul.
Uh-huh.
And he just goes, "I ran out of gas." He didn't tell me about anything else until he told me we ran out of gas. So, I'm pulling gas out of the boat, bringing it all the way over here.
Oh, dude, running out of
Brakes are
gas.
seized. So that's not even that. The brakes are fucking seized, and he fails to tell me that part.
Yeah, I'm like,
And then
drive.
one crank, two crank, the starter blows right the fuck off the block. I mean, just shears the bolts in half, comes right off the block. Shims and everything go flying across the parking lot. And we're just like,
I'm like,
what do you do now?
Would you like not tighten the distributor? It was like 40 degrees in advance.
Dude, I'm pretty sure there's 4 missing teeth on the flex plate. Please don't do that. Please don't. It's really don't do
I
that.
don't follow my own rules that I preach to you guys because I can fix it.
We know that this block is split in half any day. It's literally ran on 2 quarts of Lucas additive shit. You know how that goes. Put some Lucas in it.
Part is those starter bolts broke off clean, and I was like, this is gonna be a nightmare. I gotta drill these out. I just stuck my hand up there and unthreaded them with my fucking finger.
Yeah. But here's the thing, though. What we did when we rebuilt the truck from scratch, unfortunately, is we just pulled the engine out and put it back in.
Yeah, we didn't do anything.
We didn't touch anything else.
Drain the
No.
coolant.
It's fun, right?
Yeah.
Same oil.
It's always fun.
Same oil.
Oil's been in there for 3 years.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's just
It's pretty bad.
Yeah, dude, it is.
The radiator was rusted shut. Please also don't do that. Please flush your radiators. Also, don't use a radiator. Use an external.
Don't use 2 bottles of Lucas in your 450.
It's pretty bad. Yeah, no, it's awful. This thing is straight out of the junkyard, and I don't know how it's still alive. I drove this thing all the way to Danville, which is like 28 miles from my house from here, and I'm pretty sure I valve floated that thing the whole way home.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not even lying to you. If it had a 513 rear in it, like 5,000 RPM or so, that thing was screaming down the road at 54 miles an hour. I mean, just woo, you know.
wasn't great at all. And there was insane vibration from the rear end pushing.
It was 100% the fact that it was U joints from 1954. 54, 52, 52. Yeah, everything. Shock.
The rear was 70 years old. Everything was 70 years old except the motor.
Even the cab mounts.
Yep.
Holding on to a prayer.
There are none. That's just straight.
Yeah, whatever the hell. Whatever the seats bolted to.
Did you guys ever use those aluminum pucks that I cut for you?
We did.
Oh yeah, that's what's holding the bed on actually.
Yeah.
It's actually really nice. It held
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the nicest thing on it, right?
if you want to call it billet.
2-inch thick billet slugs.
Yeah, you know what it is.
Well, it used to
Fucking
be
right.
7-year-old 2x4s.
It was the original wood holding that. The whole bed's still original wood. It's somehow still alive. But the original little pucks they put in from factory were there. Original bolts and everything.
But the 4-link, everything we did feels really nice. I just don't want an 800-pound motor in there anymore. I want to go to the Trailblazer inline 6.
Okay. You gonna put a turbo on it?
Here, Ryan, why don't you tell them about your whole plan about how we should refabricate the entire vehicle all over again?
So we haven't even drove it other than me seizing the brakes and getting stuck in the garage door. That was his first drive and only drive. And now I want to rip it apart again. I want to do the inline 6 motor from a Trailblazer, not a Trailblazer SS. That, obviously came with the LS.
Nope.
Was very fast. No?
300 cubic inch straight 6 from an 80s Ford pickup.
Oh, well, everybody LS's them fucking things in our customer base. But
These
yeah,
things make more torque than a 351 ones. They're badass motor.
I know a couple guys now in these drag and drives are putting that Trailblazer motor around 1,000 or over. With
I just seen the video on that.
yeah,
As the import guy here, I need somebody to one JZ swap with a 4L60 on a drag and drive.
it
That'd
is
be-
the
That'd be cool.
yellow Camaro and that Buick Roadmaster. Is that the video you were watching?
No, motor was on a dyno.
Oh.
An engine dyno.
There's I wish I'll text you the guy's name, but I saw them on Sick Week. They're father and son, and they did the Trailblazer motors with the big turbo. It looks just like a 2J. It's amazing.
Yep, I've definitely. I'm pretty sure I've seen that video too, or something.
There.
I think I know what you're talking.
And they did well, like really well. Daily driving on the drag and drive and racing. I think they were into the 9s. It was,
Imagine how much dedication to fucking do something like that is, and then use it for a drag. And
aren't you doing a hot rod drag race
Oh.
coming up?
Fuck no, I didn't even get. I wanted to, but I didn't get signed up fast enough,
yeah.
motherfuckers.
That's
I'd
the
like
one.
5 minutes in, it was sold out.
I was on the site and I hit refresh on that thing. It was sold.
Yep.
Yeah, I was like, dude, like we're gonna sign up for this. Like the valve train's gonna fall apart in the Mustang, but I don't care. We're gonna try and do it. And
Yeah.
nope, couldn't even sign up.
I know.
I'll tell you what,
Ridiculous.
Drive from New Media to like Budds Creek or whatever, Maryland. That's a rough one, dude.
Yeah.
Especially in Baltimore traffic and all that shit, wherever the route's going.
Yeah, for sure.
What a nightmare. Even going up Catawissa for the guys planning on doing Hot Rod Drag Week, you will be near this place, which I live next to that track here. You might want to watch Catawissa Hill, man. There's going to be a lot of guys struggling on that one, I think.
Yeah.
Climbing up to that track. That's a big mountain. So step up your coolers. That's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah, go ahead.
if you do drag week, my shop is about 25 minutes away from the media.
I'd say
So
Definitely got to
if
stop
you're doing
by.
Hot Rod Drag Week and you break something, you need a lift, you need a shop, 570-317-5355. Give me a call. We'll toss you in the shop, do whatever you need to do.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And I think I'm trying to become a checkpoint. So on that day that New Media is scheduled, we'll be here a little late and we'll be available as well. It depends how bad you grenade it, honestly. That's how quick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's not a quick fix. Sometimes we can get you back on the road.
But if you can, he will.
Yeah, if I can, I will. But no, don't bring a power glide here. I don't have any parts for that. I don't.
They don't break.
No, they don't break. And you doing a power glide on a drag and drive, like, damn, that's
I mean, you still got 1-to-1 high gear.
Uh-huh.
You just got converter burning low gear in it
Goodness.
for driving down the road.
all these hills, man. Can you imagine?
Oh man, that'll be rough.
Dude, I drive the shit out of my car and he's all that. And,
Not anything.
but I'm just telling you right now.
Hold on. You
Yes.
drive the shit out of your vehicle. Do you know what do you have like an actual way to detect your mileage?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it's right on my shift light speedometer.
How much have you driven it?
So since I put that in, I got like 7,500 miles on it.
Damn.
But you got to understand, I got like 150 like hits on that car. That doesn't include like roll hits. Like
Do you have?
fucking time to go get a part at the store. I'm gonna run to Napa. I'll be there in like 30 seconds.
What kind of rockers and stuff do you have on that?
I'll stop.
All right. Well, you just have what, like a CHE trunnion kit or something on?
Yeah, I do.
I would change the bushings in that.
You think so?
Miles.
Damn, dude. Oh, we're good. The motor's fresh, so we're all right. I mean, damn, dude. Holy shit. I drive the fuck out of that
They're
thing.
a tough trunnion kit, but they're not made for mileage.
Man.
It's okay. Oh,
But they don't
I'll
spin
fucking
needle bearings in your motor.
This is why the rear end was coming out of the car.
for real. I can say this though. I see a lot of guys that are like they bitch a lot about, oh, I don't have time to work on my car, or I want to get it done, but I can't find time, or I'm just not motivated. Well, sell your shit to somebody who will then, because I can tell you one thing. I work 8 hours a day on a minimum, and I'll be out in that garage every fucking night if I can till 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. And if I'm not out there, it's because I'm busy doing something else, or I'm out there working on my car. Like, you're really not a car person if you got a car sitting in the garage and you're not getting it done, and you have money or whatnot. Because like, I can understand if you're trying to build a future and buy a house or build get your business started off, and like that shit does come first or whatnot. But if you really only have excuses, like, sell the car for real, because like your friends don't want to hear about you getting your car done in 10 years. Your setup's going to be old and outdated anyways. Like, give it to somebody who can enjoy the thing. It's not even worth sitting around, and you're gonna finish it in 20 years, because I've heard that.
Soon.
Yeah. I'll get to it eventually, is what the old guys used to say.
Yeah.
Boss body. It's soon.
Yeah, but you're
time-
growing a business right now.
You got
And you got a kid. You just had a kid too. You got a lot of stuff going on.
4 now.
Your kid's 4, right?
The other one's 10.
Well, yeah. So you're still got kids and stuff. So it's like there's a lot of guys out there working the gas field or whatever and don't have nothing but a car, and like still don't have time to get it done.
I just
all the time. And I used to be an oil field guy for 5 to 7 years.
Yeah, you're just lazy then, bro. That's all.
Hold on. Wait. So let's. I want to push the envelope on some things here now that we're talking about being lazy. All right, he's not a lazy man. Okay, we got good hands. We got good hands on his car, but what Randy said behind the camera was that he's gonna whoop your ass and break your record with the Grand National when it comes out of fucking.
That'd be cool though.
He said he wants to go heads up first pass. He's blowing that 7-second.
Yo, just remember, I got a GN too, and I'll fuck your life up with that if I have to. I'll build that car. It just sits.
Talk about it. My car's been dead for like.
Bob loves you.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm a good example, and Bob, by no means, if you're listening to this, do I mean any shit? But like, it's kind of as long as the car has been being built, and as much, it's making me lose. That's why I don't do anything. I don't have a race car because it's fucking being built. That's where it is. But my shit, like you said, I'm cool with it because I'm not going to be a career racer. I just want fun.
Yep.
And I'm working on other stuff. I'm building my Porsche. I'm pissing around with the truck. I have things to occupy me at night. But this car is the race car, and on my Holly is old as fuck. It's the original X Max.
That doesn't matter.
No,
but a lot of the shit in it is like there are better things. You know what I mean?
A Dominator. That's the only thing better than an X Max.
I'd rather have a Haltech.
Well, I mean,
Randy has a problem with thinking everything.
yeah, you'd rather have a Haltech till you get one.
I know.
I just want to make that screen have Barry Wood on it. With
Here's the thing.
We can do that.
But how texty
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
you guys need to show me that shit.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Holly's cool.
We got Ricky tuned on how.
Yeah, and Ricky's a great tuner. Me and Ricky have done crazy shit with that fucking wagon, and the Thai 4L module. He's the one who really did that, based on Howie's tune.
All right.
Allowed to talk about that.
Okay.
I wasn't for a while, but now I am.
Okay.
But Randy said he wants to blow the doors down here. So heads up, Randy's first time that car rolls out of the garage, fresh tune up. It's going.
And you know what? That was the dream, and it going on so long. What I was trying to say is, it is making me let go of cars. As depressing as that sounds, like I do love my little 300 horsepower cars because I drive a mile and a half to work, and I go watch you assholes at the track, and I have more fun doing that. So it is killing me a little bit, and I don't know. I'm happy though. At the same time, I'm enjoying myself still.
But you know the sacrifice
You should just-
between owning a race car.
It is. It's a huge sacrifice. And to be straight with you, between Performabuilt and working on everybody else's shit, the last thing I want to do is a transmission at the end of the day. Some days I'm burnt out
Oh yeah.
from being here till 8 or 9, which is like a solid 12, 13 hour shift. So, but I still find time. I still lay under the truck depressed looking for my brake leak. You know what I mean? So there is no excuse, but I totally get the feeling. But that's where you got to, if you're really into this shit, you got to dig deep and pick yourself up and get it done. Like straight up.
And for real, once you get the car done, you'll be so much happier. Yeah, it does. I'll be honest, I was an alcoholic for years. I got in trouble. I was really in a shitty place for a while when I was younger. But building that Grand National, when I finally got sober and was yeah, oh yeah, I never LS swapped them. Oh, I never owned any LS swap.
There's a Grand National, a Buick T-Type, about 300 yards from my house.
Okay.
Staying in the woods.
Yeah, I hate them cars.
Grand National is bone stock on jack stands.
Yeah,
It probably has 1,000 miles on it.
that's crazy. Yeah, he'll get to
It's
something.
just sitting there rotting.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
I got $500.
That's where Ryan's will sit once he gets it back too. After all this time and money.
Problem is, I think the dude who owns it's been in prison for the past 20 years.
Oh, okay. So it's not one of those guys who's I got Grand National.
I mean,
super rare.
Off one day and
disappears. I don't think anyone's gonna notice.
Right, yeah.
I didn't
Yeah. Them guys, they don't,
And then on top of that, in this whole not having a car for a long time, I'm finding other things that I'm enjoying that I might rather put my money into,
long walks on the beach.
long walks on the beach and machining.
Machining.
Yeah, no lie. I mean,
Hey, I like it. Okay.
He made his first he did it, but he birthed first part out of nothing the other day. It was just simple shift shaft. It wasn't crazy, but out of nothing.
Yep.
I thought that was the coolest thing. And when it didn't register till you actually held it in your hand and you were like, well, fuck, here it goes. I want to make shit now. Fuck.
Yeah, all we were doing with that was just double checking measurements, making sure everything was square on that mill. Because this is my first time squaring one of those things up. It was an adventure. It's not bad at all. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing in the world, but you gotta take your time, make sure it's right.
I like
Do a little test subject on something, but now the gates to hell are unleashed at this fucking point.
and sometimes
Go.
you find different things that you like in your racing car career. Maybe you hate cars and you just realize that, you know what I mean? But I'm realizing I'd rather make shit and do shit for people than and do stupid shit on the street at night. Going to the track might not be my thing. You know what I mean? As a driver, I'd rather just play up and down on the road.
Yeah, he likes Nintendo. You know,
I do like
He likes his
Nintendo, but
Nintendo.
That's like my car hasn't been finished and probably, well, still hasn't been finished for a long time. But like that thing, it's when I'm done with it, I'm probably not even gonna drive it.
same.
Like I might drive it down the road a little bit, but when it comes, Matt's looking different because Matt's a racer.
Yeah.
Matt's a pilot.
Yeah.
I'm not a pilot.
He's a pilot.
Like, and I can tell you that from doing dirt track racing for a while.
Looks like cigars.
Yes.
When it
Back is not strong.
when it comes to dirt track racing, when I was in the car, I could race. I was like an average like top 5 guy. Never won a race.
So great.
But
I know it's an average top 5 guy.
I'm a data guy, so I can take information. So like my buddies, they're like top 3 guys.
Yeah.
I can listen to them because they can feel the car better than me.
Yeah.
They can know the suspension, how it's working. They can feed me information, and I can make adjustments on their car to make them go faster.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I've always been good at is taking feedback and taking data, making cars go faster. When it comes to driving them, not so much.
But
Yeah.
that's where more of the knowledge comes from too. If you know how the car operates through other people,
Yeah.
which is like it all requires teamwork to make that happen.
It is.
You got to do it by yourself. You're not going to know how the car felt unless somebody really goes down the track and tells you,
Yeah.
"Hey, at the top end of the track, starting to feel a little squiggly, to make suspension."
Honestly, like that guy's gonna know how his car feels.
Yeah.
You are not gonna know how every fucking customer car feels. You know what I mean?
And then there's the understanding too. You might make a change and it completely trashes whatever the fuck you were doing at that point. And you
Yeah.
end up going back a few steps. You know what I mean?
Yeah, especially with dirt track stuff. People are talking about like all kinds of different crap that you can change with like, whatever stuff for drag racing stuff, dirt track stuff. Like you're talking about like roll centers, freaking reverse instant centers for like when you're braking on the car, you pitch the freaking A-arms at different angles. So when you're rolling into the brakes while you're on the gas pedal, it loads the rear, twists the car in a certain way, lifts the left front, drives the right front, whatever it's going to do. Like there's so much
On
stuff.
top of track prep, on top of that, because the track is the same thing almost, in different ways. But the track could be sticky that day. It could be completely soft. It could be slicker and shit.
Yeah.
There's so many different variables. Weather changes everything. You never know it.
Yeah. It's
Ryan learned that when he hit boost cut for the first time, and he called me damn near crying, thinking he blew his motor. Yeah.
I freaked out because I hit the boost cut, and it was a good day too. It was nice weather. But yeah, I thought it blew it up.
it's fine.
Yeah. Well, it was.
Which boost is fine as long as you're safe on timing.
Yeah.
Timing's what hurts shit.
I didn't really know what I was doing, and
a couple numbers in a computer, called it good. Said,
yeah, and I was using ROM tuning, like not even a real.
Fuck.
Dude, it was a fucking EJ 205, but I did make 400 wheel out of it.
Oh, there you go.
With
Pretty
a
good.
with a Blausch turbo that I put on in the middle of the fucking night.
Yeah, that was one of those late night
Ah.
when I told him not to dump money into something, and then he decided to put all his money into something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's like that's pretty cool, but that's like an
No.
LS1 with a truck Norris cam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that car sucked.
Yeah.
And honestly, I got it right. You make 400 wheel, you sink like so much money into a car and you love it, and then everything wrong that's stupid keeps happening. Like the next day, a pinhole through the radiator hose that is just pissing the littlest amount of smoke. Done. We're done. That's not the only thing, but
Just one of them.
it was one of them.
Oh,
The
man.
exhaust. Oh my fuck.
So in all the street driving you've done with the Camaro, I don't know, what's it like?
I love it.
Yeah.
That fucking thing tries so nice. I mean, like, I just got a Jegs electric water pump on it, but I got a really good, Griffin radiator with some really good fans on it, and it stays cool in traffic, and I can drive down in town, and I got a manual rack on it now, so it turns nice, and like everything on the car drives real nice. I get up on the highway, and with that transmission and the gears, I go 85 mile an hour down the fucking highway like it's nothing. I'll roll in that motherfucker and mash it, and he'll just fucking roll smoke for up to 140, 150 mile an hour. Fucking, it gets it. I take buddies for a ride in it when we go places all the fucking time. Tell them they don't like that shit. Yeah, I'm fucking telling you, you bring people back, they're white knuckled. That car, because a lot of people are like, yeah, I've been in fast shit, and I've been fast shit until you've been actually in some fast shit, and then you're like, holy fuck, this is a little ungodly on the street. Like, I'm in the driver's seat, and it fucking scares me. You know what I mean? Like,
You can't sledgehammer a sewing needle through their asshole.
no, not fucking chance.
Yeah, you think about like a C7 Z06 stock makes like 550 wheel. If you take that thing out on the highway and frickin' rip into it, you're gonna be scared. You're not used to race cars.
Right.
That car is scary fast.
Oh yeah.
You put 1,000 wheel horsepower into a 4th gen Camaro,
Yeah.
it weighs
30
fucking freaking C7 vet.
Yeah.
You're doing like you can do a rolling burnout from 80 miles an hour down the highway.
Oh yeah.
You can be going 80 miles an hour, lace the gas pedal as soon as that thing makes boost. You are, bam, doing a rolling burnout down the highway. Like, you want to talk about like insane? 1,000 wheel horsepower on a street car is batshit.
Yeah. And it's
Fucking crazy.
And it's catching wheel speed. That's a funny thing. I have a video on my Facebook of me running this 900 horse Mustang, this white Mustang, and I was doing we went 1, 2, 3, and the fucking thing just started eating the tires immediately, and I'm like rolling smoke by them. Like, I'm catching wheel speed, and I'm going by them, and it's like dog walking a little bit up the road. It's just fucking, I lost a part of my fender. Mike McCracken had to give me a new fender because at 160, the fucking thing gone. I was like, what the fuck was that? I get to the gas station. I don't even get out of my car yet. And the guy that was videotaping the whole thing's like, dude, where'd your fender go? I'm like, that's what took off. Like, holy fuck.
I thought I saw an orange flash.
Yo, it really was, too. It was just a fucking bloop, and it was gone. I was like, whoa.
Both door skins peeled.
Yeah. The Mustang lost the door
Yeah.
twice in a
He
row.
had a white door, and he was like, I identify as orange.
Oh, shit. Yes.
Good one.
Yeah.
Good one.
Yeah, that's hated.
Oh, man.
So, what are the goals for the car this year? What are you trying to do?
I want to go sevens. I'm building a new car to do no prep stuff with because I don't want to tear it up. But the cars consistently on the street in the fives, I want to go faster than 550 on the street with it. And then I'll be okay with that car because it's only got an 850 cert cage in it.
Yeah.
And like I said, like doing like them rolling burnouts like that, which are very easy in them cars, like I got a cage around me, but I still don't feel fucking comfortable in that thing. Like, at crazy high speeds. That's why I like 8th mile racing the car. Like, cause you go 140 and you're out of it, I'm gonna be trying to go 180, 185 this year through the traps, like for that car, that's like stretching it. I want to go sevens in it at the track and a quarter mile, maybe 750s. And then I'm going to stop. I don't want to do no more to it. Cause I don't want to put a 750 cert cage in it. I just don't want to do it because I drive it on the street so much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
and this other car I'm building is a lot safer.
Car.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, keep it a street car.
Yes, keep it a street car. Yep. And I want to do drag and drives with it, like I want to do fun shit with it and take it places. I was down in Ocean City. We went downtown. I cruised around for like 3 hours and then went downtown, hung out at 7-Eleven for a little bit. And then we drove another hour out of town to go do a cash days. Went down there, made some passes, drove back town. You know what I mean? Like next weekend, I went to the track, busted off some mid 8-second passes and was back to doing car show shit the following weekend. that I drove 2.5 hours away for. Shit, just this first car show this year, I just drove it 2.5 hours one way.
And you just hit RPM and they're dubbing you the perfect street car, which to me, that pretty much hits all the boxes.
Yeah, it was the centerfold car for this month's magazine, and they did. And the guy that was doing it, the shoot and stuff, does a lot of cars, and he's been been doing this stuff for a long time. And we went and took my car, and he packed his shit in it, and we went and drove places to do the shoot. I didn't trailer it. He didn't take his car. We went together and cruised and went and did it. You know what I mean? And had fun. And he said, he was like, this is probably one of the really nicest, calmest, street cars I've been in that, just go. It's like, you can talk calm in it. Like, it's not super loud. Like, it's nice inside the cab. I wear earphones and listen to radio when I'm by myself. But, because I don't have a radio in the car. It's still a street car. I don't care.
That's freaking cool, though.
Yeah.
Like being an RPM magazine, the only other local cars I've seen there's Lee Honey's car has been in there.
Yep, and
Bill Marks' car has been in there. Andy Jensen's car has been in there. Your car has been in there.
Mine's
dude,
small.
Those are the fastest, absolute fastest cars in the area.
Were you in it
and
twice?
yeah, you're in that shit.
Oh, okay. I thought you hit RPM twice.
I was in Chevy Hardcore. They used my car for the trophies and all the flyers for the GM Carlisle 2 years ago.
Was that the orange car again?
Yeah. They use that. So one of my customers, we did a 69 or 64 Impala 409 4-speed car, and it went down there, and he won best of show, first in his class, blah blah. But his plaques all had my car on it. so he sends me we're all standing around. Mike sends me a picture hey, look how my car did this weekend at GM Carlisle. And I'm like, hold up. That's my car on there. Yo, I need that. I need that.
Yo, where's my royalty money for this shit?
Right. So it was cool. He got me their brochure of to tell you what goes on there and where you can go and all the vendor stands and where all the car corral stuff is and all of it. So he brought me the brochure. I had my car on it. I have a picture frame in my office, but I thought that was cool. But yeah, that's the kind of only stuff it's really been in. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy about that. Really.
I mean, keep it the same, keep it perfect, because once you rip it apart, it's never going to be the same again,
Yeah.
And I think I know a lot of my customers talk about it. And a couple guys are trying to go after your time, which, telling them
That's okay.
he ain't done. That's
No.
okay.
No, we're not.
But you're not, probably, because he said,
you know what? There's a couple guys I know around here that'd be fast to do it, but really, if guys are already going fast with 400s and stuff, I understand why they're not going to put a 4L60 in it.
I do
get
too.
it. If you're building a car that is in the process and you are trying to do drag and drive shit and all that kind of stuff, that is the perfect fucking transmission. You want to do that with a 400 without a gear vendor? Fucking go ahead, man. It's not going to be a pleasant drive. I don't care what gears you got in it. Ain't going to be a 4L60 drive. I can tell you that much.
Your vendors don't do crap anything.
It is fucking.
Unless you have a lockup converter, they ain't doing crap.
Just slip higher up.
and honestly,
You're just chinging the dollar sign up. 400.
Yeah.
I haven't really talked about this much at all, but I'm going to eventually. But I mean, that you're running non-lockup, and there's a reason for that. When you get into serious power, like Matt, well over the 1,000 mark, we have to start thinking about a non-lockup situation, because how the disc and everything is there, fluid is still flowing centrifugally and all the shit, and it will start hazing and applying it and cavitating the converter and all kinds of bad shit. So just a tidbit, if you have that much power and you do want to run an 80 or a 60, you want to think about a non-lock.
Let's go back to real quick to when I first got that 4L60 off you too, before I got it, because you said here's the deal. I got one that was my first one ever built. I'd like you to have it. Or I can make you another one with this, and this extra stuff in it to make it even stronger. And what did I say? Let's go with that fucking transmission that you got, because we want to use what everybody else has in their car already. I want to use what's already out there so I can show it's been possible to do it with what's out there. There's nothing fancy in that fucking trans from anybody else's. That trans probably has less in it, right? Because it's a way older one.
It has less. That trans we literally pulled out of the closet from 2014. All we did was replace the clutches in it because, you know, they were old,
Right.
Warners and fucking how old.
Yeah.
Humidity. You don't want to chance that shit. So seal, bushing, clutch job. Woo. Basic rebuild. But otherwise, it is that old. And at the time, those were some of the first parts that ever came out for those transmissions. And I think some of them are actually factory blanks in yours. Because even Sonax, they only had the servo at that time. So everybody's crazy about the fucking billet pump rotor. Bro, you have a stock 13 vane cast rotor that comes in every single vehicle GM ever made.
Stock valve body
with nothing just our stuff, which at the time wasn't really that fancy. And
I mean, just a billet input and output shaft.
Yeah, it's
if you think about it,
fucking stock transmission with some clutches and our shift kit, and it just works. And if the builder does everything right on his end and he knows what it's doing, and the tuner knows what he's doing, and the mechanic knows what he's doing, and the driver knows what he's fucking doing, well, then it fucking works. But it was a demonstration of, no, you don't need billet for 400 fucking horsepower. You just need to know what you're fucking doing.
Yeah, you have a good team.
Yeah, and not only that, a lot of these guys that I do have a problem with it, but I don't, because this is how we're going to advance. But a lot of these people are starting to make valve bodies for these fucking things now. And they're kind of fucking up, because the way that thing really works as it is, if you just shut a couple things off and do, you know, some of the things we do, moving fluid around, it's perfect.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely perfect. And that's exactly what you're running.
and being able to, the tunability of the transmission is insane, which is another thing that a lot of people from older generations of transmissions and newer generations, like the 460 stuck in the middle of it, of electronically controlled. And then you have the jump half of the 700 R4 to 460E, and nobody understands that there's a major tunability to the transmission. You could basically make it do whatever you want with the way it is and not have 1.5 million other problems in the process where you just complicate your life down the road.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
But let's say this. You can't go buy a $200 fucking JEGS converter and put it in one of these and think it's going to work right
No.
You need to have a good converter from it. That's why I say about Pete. You know, when I wanted to do what I wanted to do, I let Pete know, and he was fucking more excited than I was, I think, at the time, because at that time...
That was a first, wasn't it?
Yeah, like nobody had fucking bolt together like converters out there for it, and like, because nobody was really using them like that, and he was all excited, like, yeah, man, go out there and make these numbers. It's people are gonna see this thing. We make them. It's gonna help all of us, you know. And that helps you on your end, because the better the converter, the better the car, but everything, you know.
Everything progresses through the future, and then the only way you're going to go faster is by progressing through things with people who take care of you, and then you work with this team of people that you gather over time and stuff like that. But it's all about consistency and working together.
Here's something you got to think about, though. Like, and you've seen it firsthand with my nitrous shit from PTC. I kept bringing the car to you, and the first time it was too tight. So we make a couple pulls. Shit, got to send the fucking converter back to him. Bring it back next time. It was flashing. Well, it was going right to 7. Wasn't even giving me nothing. It was way too loose. Send it back to him. By that time, we're 6 months out because of how long they're taking with this stuff. I buy another one to get it coming sooner. Like, this is the stuff. It's not good for your trans. It's not good for him. It's wasting his time tuning my shit. It's not good for this guy over here that got the car and put it together, or you put it in, or who.
And you got all three of us playing the blame game, trying to figure out who fucked up what.
Yeah.
And it's just a disaster. But
Yeah.
it's a call we get all too often, especially here at Torque. A lot of people view a lot of things that they don't understand, like a transmission or a torque converter, as a part, like an alternator. Mm-hmm. It's a part that you just fucking replace, because fuck, what's going on in there? Right. Motor, engine, I got pistons, rods, and I know everybody knows every fucking thing, I swear, about an engine. But it is not just a part. the transmission isn't just a part, the torque converter, it's not just a part. You need to buy something good.
It costs a little bit more,
but you'll feel it.
Yes, it will make it different. It will light. Go ahead, John. I know you're about to say something.
Converters, dude.
Yes,
there's so much that goes into the racing portion of everything, and like ringing out like combinations and stuff. Like the motor portion of it, like valve train is absolutely critical.
Yeah, it's too shorter push rod.
Camshaft selection is absolutely critical.
Yep.
The sweep of the rocker arm on the tip of the valve is critical. It's like when you're talking like squeezing every little bit out of like even an NA application, like you're messing with like cam timing a half a degree at a time.
Yep.
You have solid roller lifters in the thing. You're sitting there adjusting your lash, tightening it up, loosening it up, seeing what makes better power, running at different temperatures, seeing what makes it better power. Like all this stuff gets super technical when you're in the
It's big power stuff.
And
Once you reach a certain point, it's just there's things to take care of.
It's also a lot of stuff you can't visually see, and it does come down to numbers. I have a really good customer, Nick, who does drag and drives. He picked a valve spring not adequate for driving.
Oh yeah,
more or less.
Yeah.
And he made it through the drive almost, and it broke. But it was just a small oversight that could have been a real big problem.
Yeah. Yeah, and valve train stuff, I mean, when it comes to like springs, like we had, well, I have a truck that's in the shop right now. Somebody bought a short block assembly from ATK. ATK builds pretty decent short block assemblies. I can't fault them guys at all. They did a good job with building short block, makes good oil pressure, does its job perfectly fine. But the guys who originally put the truck together ended up buying the heads from Texas Speed. There's PRC LS3 heads. They bought a valve train and springs and everything from Tech Performance. And then the valve seals that they put on it were for a stock LS. And if you look at the hat, the way that valve seal sits down on there, it seals. But the base inner diameter, that seal is for a single spring, not a dual. That dual spring was compressed so far with being on that stock valve seal that it had 550 thousandths of lift before it completely bound the inner spring. Luckily, they put really cheap knockoff Chinese lifters in it, and it just smacked, like the camshaft had 620 thousandths of lift, but it just smashed the hydraulic lifters, which were crappy in it, and didn't bend any push rods. It just ran like crap.
Right.
Like
That's insane.
But that's, dude, you gotta be careful when you're ordering crap out of a Summit catalog.
Oh yeah.
And sometimes Temu's
Together the right way.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you're saying, like converter stuff and everything. All that combination stuff is like super critical when you're racing.
It's it comes down to like, and if you ever ordered a converter and they start asking you questions, tire size, gear, turbo, cubic inch.
You need to know these things.
Yeah, like everything, dude.
I mean, you as a tuner, do you ever run into people who just don't know what the rear end, their tire size, or really anything?
No, all the time.
Altogether? I mean, how often does that happen where somebody just doesn't know what they're driving every day?
All the time.
I mean, it's and that's where the sad reality of going into cars.
Yeah, there's
a lot of information.
This is where it's like
you need.
We'll try to help you the best we can, but you gotta try for us too. Like
these are some very important subjects to every piece of it, but not even just the tuner. I mean, you put together cars too. They're extremely serious. He rebuilds cars from the top down, and us in the middle ground where we're helping all these guys out in the process. I mean, tire size, your weight means a whole lot of everything, especially to us transmission guys and stuff like
Wait
that.
for flash. Stall is a lot of shit.
And a lot of stuff, I mean, converter stuff is serious. I mean, that's 90% of it.
And it depends on what kind of track and stuff you're running on too. Like if you're taking the thing out, you're doing no prep racing and stuff, like you're probably gonna want a looser converter in the thing to where you're not shocking the tire and applying as much power as fast on the thing. If you're radial racing, you're going to want something that's tighter, that shocks the tire, hits it properly, drives the tire into the track and gets you going. If you're driving a big tire car, you're going to want something that's like kind of in between. You want it to be kind of sloppy loose, but you want it to tighten up really hard up top so you can get the initial rotation on the tire and then apply so much power that you start snapping it and spinning it.
Yeah,
It's stuff like even a lot of the guys who want to daily drive their big cam motors and stuff like that. I talked about that before, where you just stick a cam in an engine and it calls for 4,000 stall, and that's on the racetrack. I mean, that number is meant for the racetrack. You go in the stoplight to stoplight and you live inside of a small town, that 4,000 stall is going to start roasting shit. So it's inadequate for your process.
on top of that, I mean, if you do everything right and you have the right tire size to actually make that 4,000 flash, lower and everything, because like big tires will make like a 4,000 flash very differently. But the problem is they go on fucking Facebook. And
God.
everybody said the higher number is better, so I just threw in a fucking 4,000 stall in any old car, and the transmission's slipping now when it's just you put a shitty stall in for what you don't have to back that shit up. So my best advice is stop Facebook, just call the fucking converter company. If you don't know the answers to their questions, get them the answers to their questions, and then you'll get.
And ask you a lot of questions. There's no such thing as a stupid question.
No, there isn't.
Every detail matters.
Yeah.
Every single detail. It doesn't matter what. Every detail of my job matters. Every detail of Ryan's job matters. Every detail of John's job matters.
Yeah, details definitely matter. When it comes to spec and stuff like converters and stuff, like I don't spec converters. I get information, I pass it on to a converter company that I know is reputable, and we work out a converter combo that's going to work for the car.
Yeah, exactly.
Like that's their job. They build converters.
Yeah, and that's why we strongly
These
recommend.
guys, Rossler, RPM, those guys all build transmissions and everything.
We know
Everyone has their own certain section.
We know a teeny bit about converters, enough to get you by, but chances are we're going to turn you to a real professional.
Yeah. And it's funny because there's like levels to it, like when I first came into it and I was like doing the nitrous stuff and we were hitting it with 150 shot or whatever. Like it was fun and I was like, holy shit, I went from 500 to 700 horse and we're just, I was like, oh, and you needed a 450 Walboro pump and like, you better have a good tire on it now and maybe a set of axles or something. And then like, okay, then you go, and then I went to the turbo stuff and like, you're making like 1,000. It's like, okay, then 35 spline axles keep bending. Like the 1/2-inch studs aren't working. You got to go see that, and now you're like, oh, the transmission's like, oh, we're there at that. I better upgrade that too now. And like the bottom end needs to be built. And then now it's to the point, like I'm trying to jump in the league where you guys are at, like Honey's car. And like, I'm so grateful to have the guys that I have helping me put this motor together and like get me going in the right direction, because I ask so many questions and like you call a guy and they spec you a converter. I call the guys that make the motors and do all the stuff and ask them like, what's a good head combo with this block and what kind of cubic inch you think this will be? Because I'm going to be doing this with the car and like blah, 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 and they're like, because at first I'm like, I thought I needed big cubic inches to run with these fast guys that want to go like 6s at 200 mile an hour. And they're like, well, in a stick car, you don't need that. And like, we'll just like 416 is good, like with these turbos and like I overshot everything. I didn't know. But on the fuel side of stuff, I've never dealt with methanol stuff. So like I'm thinking 520s or some like 500 cc ejector or whatever. And they're like, yeah, no, like we need to start with a 13-gallon pump with minimal 720 and inject. And I'm like, oh, I got 2 10s in my orange car and they're only at 50% duty cycle. What are we doing? 720s. Like, that stuff is mind-boggling. When I first heard that, I thought Kenny was joking with me. And, like, I went over to Jack, like, hey, what do you think about 720 build atomizer? Kenny thinks it's a good thing. And he's like, yeah, that's what I go with. And I'm going, holy shit, you know, like, okay, this is cool. I must have, it's going to make a lot of steam then with that kind of fuel. But, you know, like, I don't really know, but I just, like, I get shot in the right direction because I got the right people in my corner. But it's always learning for me. Like, it's just the stuff that no, and like just how much like I said, like my car, like the orange car, like, oh, you know, make 15 turned all the way up kill, you know, like, and like them injectors might hang there, but like I would have never thought like that much fuel would be used to make the power that I'm trying to make. Like, that's just a godly amount of fuel. Like, if you've never been in that area, you don't know. It's but it's crazy how,
like, you're talking about like air to fuel ratio in the motor. So you're talking about making that much more power on the thing. So you're whatever, you know, 1500 to 2000. That's what, 25% more air. So you're talking about 25% more air. So if you're talking about EA5, you're talking about roughly 25% more fuel to make that much more power, up to like, just say 2000. Then you're switching from an ethanol based fuel over to methanol. Methanol is like 30 to 40% more fuel than ethanol. So your injector goes from being like, hey, it's working good here, to you need 3 sets of 220s to make the same kind of freaking power.
Yeah.
And it all comes into like spec and fuel system stuff and everything. Like, you always want to give yourself headroom, one, because you're going to want to make more power down the road. And two, because a lot of people don't take advantage of it, like injector phasing. Injector phasing is freaking huge when it comes to spraying fuel when the intake valve is actually freaking open in the motor. That's important. If you're past 85% duty cycle on an injector, you are spraying fuel after that intake valve is closed.
Because it's trying to just stick, basically.
Yeah.
It's doing more.
Yeah, it's basically open the entire time. It's just wide open garden hose. Like, that stuff's all super critical. And when it comes to like naturally aspirated stuff and everything, like talking about like doing like stuff similar to like super stock, like NA, like 10.5 tire cars and stuff like that, like, we're getting them around like 50, 60% duty cycle, and we're playing with injector phasing, and you have a car that's making 700-800 wheel horsepower NA. You set your injector phasing up right, you can get an extra 15 horsepower at it. 15 horsepower on NA motor, that's a huge gain. Like, that stuff, that matters. Like,
NA is where it's at.
And people will be like 15 horse. Like, yeah.
15 horsepower out of an NA motor, that's like boosted motors, like, oh, whatever. Boost. You just add more boost, make more power. Nitrous, it's add more nitrous. Put 1 degree of time in it, picks up 50 horsepower. Like, when you're talking NA stuff, like, you're already running on the ragged edge. To make 15 more without affecting air fuel ratio and without even changing ignition timing is huge.
Yeah.
Like,
That's pure skill. Just
like
straight combustion. Like, nothing else.
But that and picking a good fuel injector, you know, if you're sticking with high impedance or something like that, like Fuel Injector Clinic, Injector Dynamics, something like that. If you're going to a large, clunky, freaking low impedance, like Atomizer, freaking APHIS, you know, one of the reputable brands. You know, if you're buying Chinese injectors for your stuff, don't be surprised if you have a whole go lean and it burns up. Like,
That's Holly as well. I bought Holly injectors, 220s, and like straight out the bag junk. Got another set, straight out the bag junk. Yeah, do not recommend them at all.
yeah, it's the old Holly low impedance injectors, the blue body ones. Those ones weren't bad. The newer ones that they sell that are the same, they're not that good. The small little Pico injectors, the high impedance that they sell, they're junk.
Yes.
The Siemens Deca that they have are actual Siemens Deca.
Okay.
They are a good injector. But speaking of going back to snipers or like a Terminator withdrawal body system or something like that. A lot of times what you can do with those things is if you have a junk sniper injector in there and you're having issues with it sticking or injectors are just not firing correctly, buy a set of injectors that go in like a stock ZL1, like that height injector with the EV6 connector, and you can replace that injector and change your injector data. So you can take that system from having a crappy injector in it to putting a good one in it and actually doing what you need to do. Like, there's ways to work around it. But
The more you know.
the more you know.
And there's a whole lot of the more you know. I think I've learned a lot. I mean, you taught me how to read a fuel map the other day. So
The old Godzilla's back.
yeah, the old guy.
Straight up. I mean, it couldn't have gotten any better than explaining how rugged the fucking terrain was.
Yeah,
on
dude.
the maps that we've been reading lately.
That was good. And I'm like, I know it's not right, but I don't know why.
Yeah. If you're transferring learning to base and you think you're tuning on Holly, or even if you're using HP tuners and you're copying your histogram and multiplying by percent and you're not smoothing out your crap, you're not tuning it. You're ruining it.
We won't name the hot rod shop that did that, but it was bad. That was my customer.
We're going to talk about a way to weld a 4L80 together.
Yeah, they welded a super glue and a cooler line fitting into it. The wrong cooler line fitting for the rear of the 80.
Stop.
Yeah, no.
Took the long one out and then super
Yeah, and put
one with barely anything.
You know the
Oh, I saw the logs from that. That's good.
yeah.
He has the information
So
on that one.
you guys know every 4LA takes that long
yeah, of course.
rear point. Well, they
Short one and a long one.
put a 90 regular old AN in there, and oh boy, was that welded black.
Whole bottle of super.
I couldn't. It was so bad, I couldn't take it apart, and they used a whole bottle of super glue to seal that fucker around
I
it.
don't even feel bad. We're going to throw a picture up right here.
Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, fuck it. I won't name them.
Picture crystal clear.
How to-
Okay, right here.
Right there.
If I was any other person, I would, because they really should not be in business with the kind of work they're doing. But that's the gamble.
You got to take your fucking time with putting your vehicle.
Yeah, and don't go to somebody that.
Here's a good one. If you want to find out if people are good at what they do, get on their page and see how many cars they finished that came in that shop. Get on and go back a little bit in a couple months or a year or whatever, and look at the pictures that they post of in progress and doing, and then back to the customer. Because there's a lot of shops that will come in and won't post shit when they leave because they don't leave right because they're going to another shop.
They get that call a lot.
Yeah, so if you're not seeing full development on their business page, get on John's. You'll see when they come in, you'll see them dyno tuned.
Mostly.
Weekly videos.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
But the caveat to that at the same time is like this kind of work is not production work.
No.
Like
absolutely no.
this, like the hot rod world, the racing world, everything like that is all, it's people's hobbies and their pride and joys. Their car is their baby. When it comes into my shop, I treat it the same way. So I make sure when it leaves, it's the best that I can produce for a product. And any shop that treats it as like car in, money in, car out, and no support, nothing afterwards, or they just don't care if something doesn't work right, like
I've worked for these shops when I was younger. I've seen this. It very much bothers me how people can take somebody and use them as a check instead of a friendship and an experience.
Yeah, and it's all the time. Like a lot of the time here too. Like we take a lot of time and pride and stuff that we put into our work.
The
And
one I did the other day, warranty. Guy didn't do anything wrong. Customer didn't. He just took it to a regular, not a performance shop, just a maintenance, garage to get his fluid and filter, serviced. They drained the fluid, didn't change the filter. And there's shit out there like that too on the average Joe's garage that you guys are taking your shit to, and just watch out for shit
and
like that.
you can check it out on our latest video too. We talk about some more pump flow stuff and fluid flow and what happens when you pop your cooler lines off. And that we explained it. I mean, somebody wrote 2 dates,
Yeah,
the same filter, and reused it,
Taking the tranny filter out, writing a date on it, and then putting
put it back in, and it's clear. I mean, the thing was I mean, you could have clogged it. It was from 2022.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty rough. But it's stuff like that. It's like
Posted it last night. It's on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah.
but then all the time we take here, it's the same thing. Every car's their baby, and everybody nowadays has a limited amount of time. You work endless nights, you're building fun cars. Nobody wants to keep pulling something out of their car. Everybody, you put so much time and money into something, you have high horsepower, you're gonna have issues down the road. I mean, it's inevitable. I mean, you're pushing the limits of stuff at some point in time. There's gonna be issues, but you put so much time into something, I'm going to put the same amount of time into something. So a lot of the time, I'm here all night with him machining stuff, trying to improve on stuff. See, what can we make better about the 4060 that isn't already a better?
That's why we tell you, if you can't wait 8 fucking weeks, or when I say so, please just go. Don't.
Because there's endless nights we're on that machine just making sure this thing works. Me and him almost have fist fights at the dyno over 5 pounds of pressure. Yeah. Just so you know, I mean, there's times where we'll climb over that spinning drive shaft just to attack each other over it. It's pretty bad.
I mean, it's got to work, and I don't care what he says.
5 pounds of pressure? No, that thing comes right off the dyno, gets torn all the way down again. It's a long day, but it's time, it's pride, it's everything we put into it. It is just a hobby for us, and it's stuff that, it's like a personality.
Yeah.
We don't do anything else other than put this gigantic piece of shit together with all the money that we have and throw away a mortgage for no fucking reason.
I tell people to fuck off and wait, because that is what we're doing. I am taking my time and putting my pride in your transmission that you just bought. Same with this guy and his tune, and this guy and the whole fucking car he builds for you.
It's all just a giant piece of art.
It is.
To me, it is, especially. I mean, I don't know how everybody else views it, but it's just a giant piece of art because it's something, and we put our name on everything. We sign our name on everything, and you take a lot of pride and stuff. Like, somebody's going to know that you touched that, you put it together. You all 8 hours of that day was dedicated to one piece of art that got dyno tested and shipped to that customer that day. And same with you spent a lot of time making sure somebody's cars runs. You drive it around, make sure it works properly before they get it back, and you just see top to bottom, man. Both of you, top to bottom builds all day long. It's insane.
I usually just let my guys at work on them, test drive them, and I'll look at the data when they come back. I get too paranoid about, like, everybody's like, oh, I would love to work on cars because you get to drive them when they're done, and I'm like always so paranoid if something happened, and I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, it's always. Yeah.
How long's it been?
Dude, we've been having a good time apparently, because it's almost 9 o'clock. It's 8:30.
Oh yeah.
We can wrap this sucker. I mean, listen, this is endless.
I keep talking. I was just surprised. I didn't.
Yeah, I didn't know. Well, I gotta get going home soon.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I mean,
literally got puppies.
Pictures of your dogs with them up here.
Yeah. Oh, listen. Just so you know, if you need some border collie puppies, I got 4 blue merles. 3 of them are girls. The one boy's gone, but then I have 2 regular border collie, black and white ones. One's a girl and one's a boy, and they're already potty trained. That's how well I am with them dogs. This is the second litter. They're at 4 weeks old, they already got potty trained. They're ready to go to a house. So come get it. Get on my Facebook. I'm going to start posting pictures. I need to get rid of these dogs because if I don't, I'm going to keep them. I can't do that. She'll leave me.
Jesus.
You're probably going to have to ship one of those because people like...
Yeah, they're going to ship.
That's okay. I'll ship them. Dude, they're so beautiful. My male, that's a blue merle, makes just the prettiest dogs ever. The first batch were just as well. They're awesome.
He isn't actually going to ship these dogs. He's actually going to hand deliver these things. Okay, his dogs are well taken.
Come get it.
I'll get on a plane and take them to you.
Oh, there you go.
It's somewhere where you live. It's cool, like Orlando.
The lower 48. He can't be going out of the country.
I like.
I'm not going out of the country in this.
And he's not doing like Ohio or anything.
Shit.
Oh, there's nothing in Ohio.
That's what I'm saying. He's not going to go to Ohio or Gary, Indiana, or anything.
I might come down there for a street race. If we can get a cash day together down there,
that's a rough place.
A nice.
Bring the dog with me to the.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know when you do a cash days. I'll hop.
We're about to do one soon.
Yeah, let me know.
I like doing them.
He doesn't like to leave home, but I'm down.
What do you mean? I go to Wisconsin. Fuck.
One time a year.
And then we drive to 3 states.
2 o'clock in the morning on
down.
Back
I don't.
road
It don't matter.
He actually will. I'm a bitch. I'm
just
still.
out of cash.
2 a.m. man. I'm 3 Red Bulls deep and we're ready to fucking party.
You have a bed.
See, I don't post a lot of the. I'll post like a video or 2 here and there about that kind of stuff.
That's
I don't
your
post
inner
on
peace.
about
The only one that gets a nice
streets
clean
lot,
sleep
my
at
business.
11, 12.
I mean, everybody knows now, but
I know.
Mexico.
Old old people don't really get on YouTube like that.
Drives like
Yeah.
be
7 hours
surprised.
to Mexico. I mean, maybe.
I
I don't
have
take customers' cars to Mexico.
He does not. Absolutely not.
no,
He builds some crazy hot rods. Check him out.
Yeah.
Make sure you check him out.
but
Bare bones up.
the old folks they love YouTube and watching this shit. I get more calls about 700 R4s from like
It's
ancient.
insane.
Oh yeah, and they got their big block and all
Speaking
that.
of 700 R4,
Oh god,
he built one that
This is only supposed to be. Yeah, I don't even know how long it's been.
that's a torque flight.
Oh, it's a torque flame. Yeah. Oh, that GTX has a sniper on it as well.
Yeah.
Thing I forgot.
There you go.
For the
No,
love of God, if you bring me a car to tune, put gas in it.
oh man,
Ran out of gas.
that's solid.
Is spark plugs a pet peeve?
At least 3 dozen times. I don't even care if I need to change spark plugs or plug wires. That's normal. But if you bring me a car that's on empty and I run out of gas,
I hope it's not in a pool.
I charge extra for that.
That's right.
I do.
Gas is expensive.
That's one, I need to go to the gas station and get gas. And 2, my wife has to drive and pick me up so
Yeah,
I can go get gas.
if you're not familiar with
That's not cool.
Yeah, that's a problem.
if you're not familiar
You
with
talk to him, you're gonna have to speak to his wife.
if you're not familiar with PA, the gas station isn't next door usually.
No, never. It's
not.
It's not. And where we live is kind of out in the country. Well, he lives way more out.
Yeah,
You
way
gotta go out.
I'm not
Good distance.
out there.
compared to us. Yeah,
I mean, compared to most people that would probably watch this, we live in the middle of fucking.
yeah, we are in the sticks.
Yeah. I live between 2 cornfields,
You have
but
peace.
still, yeah, I have peace. No one bothers me out there. I can run
Nice.
blown methanol big blocks that are making 3,000 horsepower. No one cares.
Serious.
It's beautiful. I love it out there.
Lord Symphony.
Yeah.
The Lord's Symphony.
Yeah.
I want everybody to know I want to do this again with these guys if they decide to ever come back. I think this is going to be a regular thing. And anybody have any last words? 'Cause we all have a bedtime, especially me.
No, Matt has a bedtime. He's got to sleep to go fast, I guess.
Well, no, I'm not gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go home, take care of the dogs, and then go out to the garage. Yeah, that's right. Well, I just want to make sure they're outside in the cage, but because it's been late raining for the last 4 days,
It's
and they've been
awful.
inside. I feel so bad. I bring them outside today, and they seen sunlight. They just went, didn't they? They went crazy. So happy.
I haven't seen it in 3 damn days.
Yeah, they're the best dogs in the world. But yeah, so
That's the other thing about Pennsylvania. It never stops raining,
Yeah.
even on a sunny day.
yeah.
So again, where can they find you at? How can they reach you? What do you do?
And any last word?
He's a big Holly guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Prevents
Yep.
stock ECU stuff and drives in the city.
Holly EFI
Yes.
works better than factory ECUs.
I'm not the only one that says that.
Just some guy tuning and consulting. And if you want to look me up on Facebook right now, I just still never gotten around to it. I just have my own personal profile for John Zajac. So JOHNZAJAC. And if you need to have something tuned that is an airflow based GM computer or a Holly system or even a Haltech, preferably not Fuel Tech, but I do those. Give me a call at 570-317-5355.
And someday he'll get a business page.
Someday.
Someday.
When he gets a break.
Yeah, when he gets
When
he's,
Give me a while.
I think he's busier.
Laying low. Word
Yeah,
of mouth is usually how I spread.
that's wise. It's wise.
Matt, where can they reach you? How do you get business? How do you drum it up?
So
You could just call Matt's name over the mountains and he'll answer.
yeah, in the restoration world, I'm pretty known. It just the way it is. I've been doing them a while. I do a lot of concourse restoration. Not my funnest thing to do anymore. I've been doing them for the last 20 years. Nut and bolt restorations do not do it for me. But if you want one done, check me out. I'm literally like the guy for them. I'm probably one of the only younger guys around that knows older cars that are concourse Mopars, especially Hemi cars. I've done a lot of them. I've probably done over 20 Hemi cars from E bodies to A bodies to B bodies. It doesn't matter. I've done them. When it comes into the fastback world, I've restored 30 something, 69, 70 fastback Mustangs. Do a lot of Trino stuff. I'm really good with Ford stuff. I'm a little bit burnt out on them too, but I like them. Fast Mustangs never get old. And yeah, we do a lot of street rod stuff, man. We'll do a lot of swaps, a lot of LS swaps, a lot of everything. And I got it. Like, it don't matter if it's a car, a truck, what it is. I'll slam them. I'll put bags on them. I'll lift it to the sky. I don't care. We can do whatever you want because we do it all. That is, like, really the bottom line. Yeah. So that's not being cocky. I'm just saying we don't get into the real crazy stuff like John gets into, but literally everything underneath that we've done multiple times. Before my shop, I worked for my father, ran his shop, 2 shops for 15 years. And at one point we had 16 employees before I left to start my own. And we got 6 now, and we are still a growing crew. As today, I'm still looking for another mechanic and another body guy. So if you're out there and you are good at body work and you're a mechanic and you're good at doing stuff and you want to build cool shit, check me out. And I'm not scared to pay because I work out of my house right now. I have no overhead. I want good guys because that's what I care about. I don't need to make $1 million. I want guys that know what they're doing.
Well,
That's it. That's it.
One more thing to add. I don't just do tuning. As far as just like EFI or tuning or whatever, like tune carburetors, tune blow through stuff, naturally aspirated, nitrous, turbo stuff, anything like that. I also do suspension tuning, track tuning, things of that nature. I can tune dirt track cars if usually people don't need help with that. And also I do chassis work and stuff added to it. I usually only build like 1, maybe 2 25.5 car per year, minus the body work. Body work goes to someone like Matt to do the paint and finishing and everything. I do chassis stuff and everything like that.
You wire them. You do everything start to finish.
Yeah, I mean, wiring stuff like
that was something I want to talk with you about next time.
Yeah.
You taught me about the different tin, copper, all the shit.
Yeah, so I do
that's a
lot of wiring stuff and a lot of troubleshooting. So if you're having issues with any of your hot rod stuff with wiring, that's like 99% of what I do is troubleshooting electronic problems.
Tell them don't use the Chinese wire. Don't use it.
Don't use the Chinese wire, but just be reasonable.
Don't use it.
Sometimes it works, sometimes
Stereo wire is not meant for real things.
yes. 10 gauge copper clad aluminum core wire is not the same as a 10 gauge copper wire.
We need to leave Craigslist wiring jobs in the past.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, you remember that.
If you're in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, you can always stop over at my shop. We go to lunch around 11. You can come hang out with us and go to lunch. After lunch, though, you got to get out. We're not having, but you can come right before, check the shop out, and we can go to lunch. I don't care. Pretty cool setup, some cool stuff around. You might like it. Yeah, Williamsport, Pennsylvania. That's where I'm at.
Yeah, don't stop by my place unless you actually call me or talk to me.
Yeah, they'll go
I'm
John.
out in the middle of nowhere. I'm
won't
out there
find
for
it.
a reason. You won't find it.
You won't.
Right.
You know, you get lost out here. And if you guys are watching this channel, you obviously know who the fuck me and Evan are.
Yeah, I didn't introduce myself. I
No.
popped in earlier. I am the machinist here.
But
I'm
if
Evan.
you need the baddest GM transmissions built, we are you guys. And if you still have no idea who these people are, but you want them to do work for you, and for some reason you can't remember their names,
We'll drop their link.
call me and we'll drop their names and set you up.
Yeah. Right on. So this is to be the crew you see from now on. I
Yeah.
think it's going to be the main 4-man crew. You guys, I mean, hopefully you guys are down. I like this bullshit in session.
They tell me to fuck off later, but we plan on doing this periodically.
This was supposed to be an hour. It ended up being, I don't know. how many.
Yeah, we had a good time.
It's still recording.
Hope you guys did too, and there will be another episode very shortly with these two idiots along with us. So, thank you.
Right on. Hell yeah, brother.
Hell yeah.
I don't know how to fucking end it. We're just going to end it like that.
That was a lot longer than I thought, and it was like, because I did not think it was even that long. I thought we were in here like an hour and a half.
Started?
And I had flipped my phone up, and I'm like, holy fuck.
So it's like, we're yammering on like a bunch of girls.
2 hours and 58 minutes.
I really do appreciate you guys so much. Yeah, first time was not bad.